cheat on my bitch.
Rasta, can you hit that?
Try hard not to cheat on my bitch. Try hard not to beat on my bitch. Try hard not to break her phone. Tried hard not to send her home. Tried hard not to text these bitches. So solar that I need my distance. So Isabel that I'm committed. Vanessa never let me hit it. All I wanna do is slap her nigga every time that she yells. But I won't let her be my downfall. No, I'm not tryna go to jail. Pay for the pussy through Zelle. Pray my side bitch, don't tell. Pray my side bitch, don't snitch. I'm not tryna cheat on my bitch. I'm not tryna be unfaithful. But sometimes my bitch is ungrateful. My bitch really loves to yell at me. I'm just tryna make her happy. I'm just tryna make her smile. But she treats me like I'm her child. So I guess that means she's a pedophile. So I guess that means that she likes children. She be treating me like I'm a villain. I'm a nigga, but I got feelings. I'm a nigga, but my sperm is white. Fuck around and leave it in her eye. Broke her heart, now the bitch cries. Cheated on her, it was out of spite. Ex-bitch says he's tryna slide. She sucked my dick, but it ain't feel right. Probably cause my bitch is at home. She wonder why I got two phones. Two phones and they full of whores. Text the bitch every time I'm bored. Text the bitch every time she yell at me. Text the bitch every time she mad at me. Getting bitches is in my anatomy. Abigail tryna suck it out of me. Trick on bitches, I just spit your salary. She wanna play games. She's driving me insane. She's leaving a spit chain. She's giving me good brain. But she doesn't care, she want me to cry. Ran on my bands and put on my mans. They hate on me cause of my size. Try hard not to cheat on my bitch. Try hard not to cheat on my bitch. Try really hard not to cheat on my bitch. Trying even harder not to beat on my bitch. But it's so hard not to beat on my bitch. And it's even harder not to cheat on my bitch. Will I go to hell if I cheat on my bitch? Will I go to hell if I beat on my bitch? And even though she be making me sick, I still never plan on leaving my bitch. But sometimes I might cheat on my bitch. Sometimes I might cheat on my bitch. But that doesn't mean that I'm leaving my bitch. Got her tattoo, so I'm stuck with my bitch. Got her tattoo, cause I'm in love with my bitch. Try hard not to cheat on my bitch. Try hard not to beat on my bitch. Try hard not to break her phone. Tried hard not to send her home. Tried hard not to text these bitches. So solar that I need my distance. So Isabel that I'm committed. Vanessa never let me hit it. All I wanna do is slap her nigga every time that she yells. But I won't let her be my downfall. No, I'm not tryna go to jail. Pay for the pussy through Zelle. Pray my side bitch, don't tell. Pray my side bitch, don't snitch. I'm not tryna cheat on my bitch. I'm not tryna be unfaithful. But sometimes my bitch is ungrateful.
Hi. Hi. Hi, everybody. Hi, Mira. Hi, Fox. Hi, Gamma. I'm a beat on my mans. Huge. Hi, everybody. I'm just chilling for now. I'm just low-key chilling for now. Because I do have to eventually get off. But I think, I don't know if you guys saw the Discord, but I said we'll probably end up doing 2 separate streams. Marcus, can we play spooky horror game together? Yeah, of course. Hi, Remy. We'll probably end up doing like 2 separate streams. Two separate ones. Right now, we're just chilling, though. Right now, we're just chilling for this one. We gotta play Backrooms game together? Okay. We can do Backrooms game together. How's everybody's day going? How's everybody's day going? The normal... Don't worry. The normal stream will still commence today, but I do have to get off. And I'm not going to have too much time to do too much right now. Someone donate memberships? Why? So you can get your membership? Fuck. Demo, you want your memberships? You want your memberships? I'm off tomorrow? Huge! Well, tomorrow I shouldn't even be busy either. Look at this guy. Fucking look at him. Hi, Jimbo. I saw a list, right? So Captain C put this list on my Discord.
Just made my day.
And it said the worst Xbox, like, franchises ever. And then one of them was Dead Rising, which I thought was kind of crazy, because I was like, okay, Dead Rising's not that bad. I mean, the later games do get kind of goofy, but, like, the games are fun. And then I saw State of Decay on there, and I knew it was bullshit when I saw that. Gemma on the tube. Gemma is on the tube. He's been on the tube a lot lately. Why has he been on the tube so much?
Nothing moving around here but the living.
Fox.actual. Fox.actual. I fuck with Fox.actual. I fuck with Fox.actual, actually.
Do we need more of these?
I was supposed to... Okay. I was supposed to get on yesterday. And then I said I was going to get on. I'm just going to be brutally honest, Chad. I just fell asleep.
More for that to go.
I just fell asleep. I was so tired. But I was going to get on, but then I just couldn't. I passed out.
Where should I put this?
So you guys got to give me... You guys got to give me that, okay? I was just super tired. L sleeps. Sorry. My bad. My bad. My bad. LFAPS or whatever. What is it? How does it go? LFAPS. LFAPS. We had to watch Gamma because of that. Evil stuff. Yeah, my bad. My bad. I was like... I was sitting in bed and I was like, I should get on. And then next thing I know, it's morning. I said something in the Discord about how like, oh, that's the plan for tonight to Gamma. Next thing I know, it's fucking morning.
He's all over the place. If I can do that again.
There we go. Just fucking hand in the air. Jimbo should good live. Fuck, that's so much better. What's so much better? El Naps?
No reason to keep searching here.
What's so much better? Did something change? Did I do something different?
If only I had room for it. No room for that.
No room for that. No room for that. I'll have some room for it. Give me that. Give me that. Okay, that should be everything. Oops. Mir's L Naps is better than my L Sleeps. To be fair, L Naps, L Sleeps. Honestly, yeah, L Naps is a tad bit better. I'm gonna be honest. What? I took a weird route. Jimbo might not want to go live, man. What if Jimbo just doesn't want to go live? What if Jimbo's just not interested in going live, man? Have you ever thought about that? Has that ever crossed your mind? Trying hard not to cheat on my bitch. Trying really hard not to cheat on my bitch. Here, Gamma, I think I could do this, right? Let's see. No, I cannot. It's not the start of the month. It's not the start of the month. I can't give you anything. No handouts. No free handouts. What do I have? Oh, I have no meds. L meds. L meds. L meds.
Feel better once these plague hearts are gone.
Did you like the last movie, Squish? The last movie? I'm still watching them. I got a buttload more of them, and I still gotta watch them. And then I still gotta watch Poultrygeist with the community. I'm still not done with. I'm almost done with most of them. But once I have a plan. So once I'm finished with all of them, it might trickle into November a little bit. But once I finish them, I'll do like a stream, probably a short stream, dedicated to it, and I'll go through all the movies and rank them properly once they're all done. So I'm not gonna do any more spoils on the list anymore. I'm not gonna do any more spoils on the list. I'm gonna save the list for later. We'll do all the movies on the list, and then that'll be the end. Cause I'm almost done. There's not that many movies left. Fuel. Okay. But yeah, tonight should be. I'll probably end up watching like actual content tonight. And then
Hello there.
tomorrow I'm not gonna be busy, so I'll be on at normal time tomorrow. Is tomorrow? Wait, is tomorrow Halloween? Oh, shit. Tomorrow's like... Oh, it's perfect then. That's perfect then. We could do spooky tent or whatever. We can watch spooky content. I can't imagine you guys are going out for Halloween. Maybe. I don't know. I picture everybody here as an adult. I can't imagine you guys are going trick-or-treating. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. I like how it sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work.
Not bad at all.
There we go. Die. What does that mean, Mira? What does that mean? Are you going out? Hi, Flavorless. Hi. Hello, Mark Bus. Hi.
Found a few more of them.
So wait, so what I'm getting at though is Mira's going out tomorrow. Damn! Why do I gotta hit you so much to kill you? I was, but I have work the next day. Damn, on Saturday? I would not. I'd be pissed.
Already got all I can handle.
Is this fuel? Yeah, this is fuel. You know what I've noticed, though? I've noticed this, Remy. Remy, you gotta stop asking me for... You gotta stop asking me for... What are my picks? Because every time you ask me for what my picks are, they never hit. But when you don't ask me...
Nathan Troy Adam. You can play your game, but I have two spooky videos. The first one is a personal fear of mine and the second is a spooky supernatural videos.
Okay.
Let's get spooked. Check video ideas.
Thank you for the 25 Canadian Captain C, you can play your game, but I have 2 spooky videos. The first one is personal fear of mine, and the second one is spooky supernatural videos. Let's get spooked. Check video ideas. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll stop the game so we can watch some spooky content. Ain't nothing wrong with that. God damn, dude. Fuck. Let me drop off my fuel.
All right, last mag.
Oh, it's beta. Oh, fuck. I'm not carrying the...
I need a breather.
Sorry. You're good. Yeah, we'll watch it. Just give me 1 second. Let me drop off the fuel. I'll drive back home and then we'll damn it, dude. That is not who I want to shoot. And then we'll watch some spooky content. When are these guys gonna come out and help? There we go. Okay, she'll handle the rest. There you go. Get rid of this. I don't know why they don't show up on the map, though. Die. 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 Fuck me. Okay. I love space, but astrophobia freaks me the fuck out. Astrophobia. What is astrophobia? Is that like the fear of getting lost in space? Is that kind of like what it is? Okay, let's bring the car back home. And then we can switch over. Is the fear of space itself? Hi, Romeo. Trying not to cheat on my bitch. Trying really hard not to cheat on my bitch. Okay. Oh my fucking god.
Take that, you feral fuck.
Nice. Okay. Drop off. Drop off, drop off. Okay. We're home. Okay. Give me 1 second to switch everything over. All right. Switching over. Okay. If it'll load, goddamn, why is it not loading?
On December
Fuck me, dude. There we go. All right. Why did you pick your avatar? I've always wanted to ask this question. Why did you pick your avatar, or like what made you choose it? What, the melon dog? There was like no, I don't think there was like any like decision behind it. I think I was just like chilling. I was in high school. I was chilling. I was making my Discord for the first time. And then I don't know, I just like, I needed to pick a profile picture, so I picked the watermelon dog. I haven't changed. My profile picture on my Discord has been the same since I created my account. I've never changed it. It's always been that. So now I've kind of made it my thing where I'm never changing it. Like I'm just not going to change it. It's going to stay that way forever. So that's kind of just became the thing. My avatar used to be a human on YouTube. Why is the thing, like, I can't even scroll the video. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. it was like a human, and I still use my like human avatar if I made videos, like if I actually like made videos, which I want to make videos again, but it takes so long to edit that I just don't ever have time to like actually make videos. But if I ever do that again, I usually use my like actual like human avatar, not my what's it called? Not the watermelon dog.
24th, 1968, Apollo 8 made its first orbit around the moon. While the astronauts were coming around the backside of the moon, one of the astronauts, Bill Anders, had taken out his Hasselblad camera to get a picture of the
Unless
lunar
Morale's gonna do it
landscape.
for free.
As he
I
pulled his
don't
hands up
think
to
he's
take
gonna
the
do it
photo,
for
he saw
free.
the Earth in a way that, at the time, only those men had ever seen it. As a ball in the darkness of space. And he took possibly the most influential photo of all time. The photo now known as Earthrise. Earthrise can be described as many things. Influential, important, recognizable. But I would describe it as something different. To me, and to many others...
Yeah, we're on
this
that right now,
image,
bruh.
This famous, influential image can only be described as terrifying. The blackness of space around the Earth, the visible meteorite craters in the moon, the simple fact that that tiny ball surrounded by the eternity of the cosmos is all of us, are just some of what makes this image absolutely petrifying to me.
Like commentary videos? Probably not. I've grown out of making commentary videos, and I just don't really feel like if I'm ever gonna make videos, it's not gonna be commentary anymore. It's probably gonna be a switch to something different, something a little bit more. How do I put this? I'd probably make like just kind of my own style content. Like kind of like if I like a game or something, I want to make like a high quality video about the game, or if I like a movie or a show that I like or something, I'll make like a high quality video about it, but I just don't have time to put all that stuff together. So if I ever find time to do that, I would love to make it and actually do it. But for now, I just don't have the time.
To me. The fear I feel about this image and images like it is a fear that I'm not alone in. This fear of space has often been referred to as astrophobia. Astrophobia is the fear of space and the celestial bodies that inhabit it. I've covered other fears on this channel.
I've
but
always
unlike
wanted
those
to
other
do
videos,
variety.
I can
Variety's always been my
confidently say
kind
that I
of
have astrophobia.
my thing.
Looking into the void of deep space, or an image of a gas giant several magnitudes larger than Earth surrounded by a pitch-black void, these things are horrifying to me. And I'm clearly not alone. With videos on astrophobia getting millions of views and us knowing
Space
more
ain't
and
that
more
terrifying.
about the cosmos every year, this fear of space is something that many people can relate to. But why? Why is space so terrifying to so many people? Well, let's start off with one of the biggest triggers for astrophobia, at least for mine: planets. The planets in our Milky Way and beyond are creepy. They have an almost unsettling tinge to them.
They're awesome
Seeing
looking.
images on the surface of Venus or Mars is oddly unsettling. It feels like the uncanny valley. Mars especially resembles Earth when seen from the ground, but you can always tell that this isn't Earth. This isn't home. But for me at least, the scariest part of these planets isn't their surfaces. What I find most uncanny about these planets is seeing them from space. I think it has something to do with the size and the planet's buildup, but what I find more scary is the darkness they exist in. This horrible darkness that makes the true size of the planet unrecognizable. But you know they're still massive.
Oh, they look
almost
awesome,
like a
dude.
face peering out of a dark closet. Ready
No, this guy's wrong. This guy's wrong. They look dope. Look at them, dude. Look at them. They look like Friend. That's what they look like. They look like Friend.
to jump at you. The two
Hi, Big
planets I
Aaron.
find the scariest are Jupiter and Saturn. The fact that these planets, despite
How?
their large size, don't even technically have surfaces is just one of the details that unsettles me.
You're gonna have to wait, Chris.
Play my song.
You're gonna have to wait, Chris. We got donated for these videos, man. You're gonna have to wait, man.
About them. The fact that you could simply fall right through them, and the fact that both of these planets are made of heavy, toxic gases, is truly unsettling to me. As a kid, I used to have nightmares about falling into Jupiter or Saturn. Just knowing that I couldn't breathe in there, Even if I could, the pressure and the toxicity of the atmosphere would most definitely kill me. Was something
It's
I
1
found
minute.
terrifying and still do.
You haven't even
Planets
put it
like
anywhere.
Neptune and
You
Uranus
haven't even
are also
sent
scary
it.
in their own right. The deep blue contrasts heavily with the
Marcus,
black
spook me.
of space, and Neptune to me is especially scary considering it's the farthest from Earth, making it feel even more alien. You might have seen maps of the solar system in school that look like this. These maps are good at showing the sizes, but inaccurate when it comes to distance. We tend to group the gas giants together as if they were some sort of system of their own, close by to each other, similar to the distances between Earth and Mars, but that couldn't be further from the truth. This is an actual 2-scale model of the distances between planets.
That's pretty
As
cool.
you can see, Neptune is nearly double the distance that Uranus is from Saturn. Despite
Nah,
that,
you didn't say it right. Come on, call it by its rightful name, Uranus. Actually, this one to the left is kind of spooky. It's just pure white. Just a big white ball. That's what it is.
we tend to group Uranus
We
and
have a
Neptune
second
together
moon,
as the icy
technically.
blue cold planets.
I sent it,
These
Markham.
vast
Well, these were
distances aren't the only
donated,
thing
Chris.
that
So you're gonna
scare me,
have to wait,
however.
man. You're
Another
gonna have
thing
to.
that really
You're gonna have
gets
to
me
wait,
and
man.
freaks me out about these planets is their sheer size. Astromegalophobia is the fear of large objects in space. It's another thing that really freaks me out about these planets.
Dat
Look at Jupiter,
Uranus.
for example. The big red spot you
True.
can see in most photos of Jupiter is actually a storm that's been raging on for nearly 350 years, and a storm that is nearly twice the size of Earth. The sheer size
Problem?
of all these planets scares
Problem?
me. They seem almost menacing. Something so inconceivably large that if I was standing in front of it, I would barely see past the base. Just knowing that these celestial bodies are out there somewhere, made up of gases that would kill me if I were ever to fall in them, makes looking at images like these, or even imagining myself standing out there in space in front of these gas giants, terrifying to think about. Looking at these images almost makes me feel like something is staring back at me. They're intimidating. But it isn't only the huge planets that scare me. In fact, I'd argue
Ooh,
that tininess is even more
spooky.
scary. And that's what we are. Tiny. This is Earth. as
Chris,
viewed
you're
from
not getting
Saturn, taken by
scammed,
the
all
Cassini
right? I'm not
Space Telescope.
scamming Captain
That's
C, all right? He
us.
paid
That's all of
25
us.
for this one,
Every
buddy.
memory you've ever
You're gonna have
had,
to sit and
every
wait,
human
pal.
that has ever existed, every feud between countries, all of human history, and everyone you love or have ever heard about anywhere has all been here. It's no wonder then that people say we should send politicians to space so they can see the Earth as it is, an extraordinarily tiny ball in the middle of nowhere. Many astronauts, in fact, report their outlook on life changing after seeing Earth as such a small, fragile sphere, especially those on the Apollo missions. One of the Apollo astronauts, Edgar Mitchell, has a quote relating to this that I really like. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. I will never know the feeling of looking at Earth as a tiny ball in space, but looking at these images is the second.
I'll be honest, I don't have this fear. Okay,
Troy
fine.
Adams.
Now, labing
You can
isa.
have your 1-minute video real quick.
Hello, everybody. A lot of people on YouTube, you're calling me a homo, all because one user on YouTube called me one. That doesn't give you the right to call me a homo. You're only calling me a homo because that Blue Summer posted a video, and you know we've been sending each other private messages, and we became friends, and he called me a homo. He copied and pasted one of my videos, and he called me a homo in it, and you're just on his side. Why don't you just leave me alone? If you're gonna call me a homo, then I don't know what to say. If you're gonna call me a homo, then back off. A lot of you
Christian
people are making
YouTuber
fun of
97.
my videos and copying and pasting my videos, and I will not have it. Got it. Stop calling me a homo, or you will be sorry, imbeciles.
Imbeciles. That was kind of hard, actually. That actually went kind of hard. I can't lie. He did projects when he first started commentary. True. This is Chris. Yeah, his thing said Christian YouTuber, so that must have been Chris. That was That must have been Chris back in the day. Damn, Chris, I didn't know you face. I like how your face revealing, man. That's pretty awesome. They used to call you homo back in the day, dude? What the hell? Why'd they do that? Why'd they call you homo back in the day?
Closest thing to that. It really emphasizes how tiny we are, and a result of just how small we are is also our fragility. Space is hostile. We can be hit by a gamma ray burst, or a rogue asteroid could come in our direction, and we couldn't do anything about it. I think that concept alone contributes greatly to my astrophobia. We are simply at the mercy of the cosmos. The size of the universe is vast, of course, but it isn't just the solar system and the planets in it that scare me. There are many exoplanets that we've discovered that I'd argue are even scarier. Like the exoplanet Gliese 436b. It's a planet around the size of Neptune. Its surface is covered in ice, yet it orbits only 2.5 million miles away.
Is this
from
the one that's like, it's covered in ice, but it'll like burn? It like burns you alive?
its host star. Now, that might sound like a lot, but for reference, the closest planet to the Sun, Mercury, is nearly 36 million miles from the Sun. Its surface temperature is 882 degrees Fahrenheit, and yet it's still made completely out of ice.
Yeah.
It's due to this phenomenon that the ice in Gliese 436b
That's dope as
is
shit.
constantly on fire.
That's dope as shit. That's so cool. What the hell, man? This is cool. You know what else I love? I love space. I love space videos. I love learning about like space and planets and stuff because I love learning about all these things because it's super cool because out there might actually be like other people or like other creatures or something. Or like there used to be like other creatures. And there's one little thing. So there was this, we discovered like a X star, like a star that it did the whole explosion thing. It did the thing where, you know, how our sun's supposed to like turn into a white, what is it called? A white star or something. Before it used to be a normal star and it has planets surrounding it. And I think one of the planets was to believe to actually have like stuff on it. So you got to think about that. That planet might possibly could have had like people existing on it. And then that thing blew the fuck up. And now we're here, you know, now we're here living on our planet. And we're, and there might have been people on that planet, but it's fucking cooked because it blew up. It's gone. Star gone. So can't have life no more. White dwarf. Yeah, white dwarf. Ice on fucking fire. Yeah, this thing is like purely ice on fire. It's awesome, dude.
Yes,
It's dope.
You heard that right. Literal burning ice. The reason the ice doesn't melt is because of the immense gravitational pull from the planet's core, which prevents the water from evaporating away from the ice. And this burning ice isn't even the weirdest part of the exoplanet. Because of its high concentration of hydrogen, we would expect to see significant levels of methane in the atmosphere of Gliese 436b. But paradoxically, we see that the planet has 7,000 times less methane than it should. And has a
Nathan Soy Adam.
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky. I'll never ask again
Okay.
if it loses.
Okay. I put for a special pick, I put Isaiah Likely to get a touchdown. He's obviously taking over the reins for the tight end position. And with Lamar Jackson coming back, he should actually get some more production in this game. And I would not be surprised to see a tight end get a touchdown here because the Dolphins defense is just not good. Another one is obviously Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle will probably get a touchdown in this game because the Ravens defense is also not good. But the Isaiah Likely one is it's the one with it has the not higher odds. Jalen Waddle has the higher odds. Isaiah Likely has the lesser odds. If you want a higher payout, you go Isaiah Likely. But Jalen Waddle is also the one that I have as well.
carbon monoxide instead. It's a
Thank you for the
planet with
$2.99
burning
Australian,
ice
Remy.
and poisonous air. Not scary at all.
If this
Another
fucks me over,
exoplanet that triggers my astrophobia, but more specifically my astromegalophobia, is the planet J1407b. They
Ooh,
really need to give these
like
planets better
current
names.
Patriots player?
Saturn is to me the scariest planet in the solar system because of its rings. But Saturn has nothing on J1407b.
See, why would that scare you? Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Saturn's ring is actually what protects us from, you know, these like space rocks from like absolutely hurling themselves onto us and fucking diabolically destroying our planet. So Saturn is literally helping us. Saturn is like our our main hoe. Like, we fuck with Saturn. She be protecting us and shit. She be like treating us right and shit. You know what I mean?
So does Jupiter.
Or in Jupiter, I think it's Jupiter. I could be wrong about Saturn. Is it Jupiter?
Both of them.
Okay, both of them do it.
Literally all the planets protect Earth.
So like, I love these guys, dude. Our planet, the planets in our solar system, they're fucking awesome, dude. They're awesome. I love them. They're super cool and awesome. If I could go over there and give them a little smooch, I would. That's what I would do. No, it's Jupiter's gravity. It's Jupiter. Okay, never mind. Saturn. Fuck you, Saturn. Fuck you. Jupiter's my hoe. My main bitch. Christian Gonzalez is his name, I think. God damn, you work with Christian Gonzalez's dad? That's pretty cool. What the hell? Ever heard of the dark forest theory? It states that there is an alien life all over the galaxy, but they purposely keep quiet to avoid contact, attracting attention. We do the exact opposite. Really? I just think no one's like realistically, right? There is a planet out there with like people on it. Probably one that we can't physically see. Like, because the universe is like fucking massive. The galaxy is huge. And we can only see so far. So there's probably other galaxies out there with other planets with people, but I'd imagine that we just haven't found a way to reach them. There's exoplanets or whatever this guy says. Well, I forgot what they're called, exoplanets, but there's exoplanets that we've seen that look like they're habitable, which could mean that there's literally life on it currently, but we have no way of reaching that planet. We have literally zero way of getting in. It's too far away. Like it's just no chance of us reaching there. So we can only speculate off of just looking at it. Which for some of these exoplanets, there might be some people on it, but I just don't think any creature or anybody has the capability of getting any technology good enough to even reach any of these planets or to even contact, or it's just too much. It's too much. There's something out there. Oh yeah, there's definitely something out there, but it's probably so far out. It's probably so far out that it's just we can't see it, you know? Like I just can't imagine we're looking at it, I guess is what I would say. We're in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm pretty sure there's another galaxy called like what is it called? Androgena or something, or something, whatever the fuck it's called. There's another galaxy out there. I mean, I imagine, you know what I mean? There's like millions of fucking planets in the fucking, there's millions of them. There's no way we're the only one. You know what I mean? There's no way that we're the only fucking one that got lucky to get life on it. It is difficult to get life on a planet. It is difficult. Another thing that I think would be super cool is to experience a planet turning into a habitable planet, because that's what happened to Earth. Because we used to be, from my remembrance of learning about this, is we used to be this big volcanic fucking just mesh of death, essentially. We used to be like just pure, like basically like nothing but like if I'm not mistaken, like nothing like but volcanoes. We used to have just a bunch of volcanoes. Now those volcanoes helped us build and put like I think oxygen on the planet or something. I can't remember the exact way it works and how it happened, but something happened that created it. Also, to be fair, there could be life on like a lot of planets, because there are these like small little things. Yeah, Earth used to be a molten ball. Like the planet was literal lava. Yeah. Well, it had like volcanoes, and if I'm not mistaken, volcanoes do, there's like, the way it works is something about creating oxygen, which is how we kind of ended up breathing, like we cooled off and then we ended up like producing the oxygen that we needed to be able to become a planet or whatever. It's in Andromeda, that's the name of it. It's the galaxy right besides us. Hi, cats. If I could go into a planet for 5 seconds and teleport back, I'd go to Jupiter near the big red dot, because it's like a light speed tornado. Yeah, that'd be fucking dope. I'd want to go to like, see, I feel like Mars would be a bad choice, because I feel like, you know, we've already gotten pictures of it, you know, so there'd be no reason. I'd want to go to like something like, I think Neptune would be a good one. I think Neptune is like, it's also constantly storming. Or, actually we do have pictures of Venus? God damn it, I'm forgetting the names of all the planets. We actually do have pictures of Venus, I think. It's like a big... It's like yellow. It's just like extremely yellow. Like all over the place. The Milky Way and the Andromeda are actually going to merge together in around 4 billion years. They will fuse into a single galaxy. Ah, that's actually kind of cool. What the hell? Mars sounds miserable. Mars is literally just nothing. And then it gets like a few storms once in a while. Venus was probably Earth like millions of years ago. See, that's another thing you have to like understand too, is like some of these planets could have had life on it at some point. Like that's what we kind of wondered about like Mars, is like, did this place have life on it at one point and then it just kind of went away? Hi, Benzen. Hi. Like that's what I love about like the fucking galaxy. I love space. I love learning about the planets and stuff. They're super cool.
407b. For reference, this is Saturn, and this is J1407b. This exoplanet is hauntingly scary.
Hell yeah!
First of all, the planet itself is nearly 10 times the size
Hi,
of
Cryptid.
Jupiter, which is scary enough, but the rings are what really get me about this exoplanet.
What's wrong
They
with the
are
rings?
150 million kilometers across.
That's
one side to the
crazy.
other.
How do you even
For
reach
some
it?
reference on how gargantuan that is the distance between the Earth and the Sun. I can only imagine how terrifying floating next to the planet's rings would be. Seeing how far they go out, the fact that something like this is even allowed to exist, the fact that space can make these huge things is terrifying. But what's even more scary is the thought that...
That is true. We can technically survive on Mars with a spacesuit, but most likely a storm, like one of the storms, would absolutely obliterate you and fuck you completely. I'm very curious to see if like that's something that I've always been. I don't understand why we try to go to Mars so much, because at this point I feel like it's pointless. But it's like that one movie, I think it's called The Martian or something. Like that movie actually makes me like curious as to like, could we like manually put soil and bring oxygen and all this stuff and like make it livable? Like, is that something that we could do? Is that like a possibility? Like it's always run through my mind a little bit. Like, is that possible? It's actually critical for us as a species. I feel like, yeah, but like for what purpose, you know? Like, we're just going to move next door. You know, that's kind of my question, is more so like, what, we're just going to move next door? I feel like it's a little silly. It is technically possible. It was humans that burnt out the planets. That's why the aliens won't let us in the Galactic Federation. Yeah, it's our fucking fault. God damn it. I'm trying to get some spaghetti head from a badass black hole BBW princess. Marcus, have you heard? What have I heard? What am I supposed to hear?
This can go even further.
Mars is a
After
testing ground for
all,
us?
We can only see...
Well, it's a testing ground, but like, I don't think we have any way of getting there and like in living in it without those storms like completely obliterating like any sort of because storms happen pretty often there, but they don't happen all the time, which is why it's possible. But I don't know. Have you heard the major news? I haven't heard the major news. Dragons have invaded Dave and Buster's. What? We are the ghetto of space. What the hell, Mira? Why? Yeah, actually, Mira's not even wrong, because we keep finding these quote-unquote super Earths. And if we keep finding super Earths, then what does that make us? Huh? Are we just, are we really just the ghetto Earth? Are we just the shit version? The fuck? The storms aren't that dangerous. They are survivable. Yeah, if you have like a base that can handle the storms, but like if a person was standing in it, you'd be fucking cooked. You'd die. You would die. You wouldn't be able to make it. Our probes survive many storms on Mars. That is true, actually. You're not wrong. If we have the technology to terraform Mars, we have the technology to terraform Earth. Neil deGrasse Tyson. What does that mean? What? What? terraform Earth, but we can already live in it. Is that, do you mean like to make it better? To like make the ecosystem better? Is that what he means?
Our observable universe. And even then, the farthest exoplanet we've ever observed is 27,000 light years away. The observable universe
that's
is
so
about
cool, dude.
94 billion light years across.
Yeah, but that's so cool though that we can see that far, that we can see that fucking far, and we found a planet that far. That's super cool, dude.
And that's only the part that we can observe. There are probably billions, if not trillions, of other exoplanets that we haven't discovered yet, with even more mind-bendingly scary properties. But we'll never know what those
I'm a person that I have a fear of the ocean. I have like a massive fear of the ocean. The ocean scares the shit out of me. But I do believe we should be like looking in space and looking around in space. But I feel like we should be like discovering our ocean more than we should be discovering the space, right? The space. We should be discovering space because we don't even know, like, we only know about like 10% of the ocean, I think. And it's like, that's crazy, right? Like, we've been on this planet for fucking millions of years and we only know 10% of the ocean. We don't know like the other 90% of what's going on down there. It's scary as shit. The ocean scares the living shit out of me, but it would be dope to at least know. That's why I don't like the ocean. It's because it's that fear of the unknown kind of thing. But I guess, to be fair, I don't fear space, which is kind of the fear of the unknown. But at the same time, I feel like space, there's no like monster that's going to come out of the fucking space and just gobble me up. You know what I mean?
Space squid.
Space squid. There's no space squid. There's no space squid. That's not a thing. Guess what, Marcus? We don't have enough funding for space exploration. What the fuck? Why not? Why not? What if we just make a big straw to transfer water to Mars? Yeah, and we all have to pitch in together to sip. We have to all like on 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we have to do the whole like. Yeah, we got to do that to get the water to Mars. The evil rape squid from outer space.
These are. We will never research, find out, or understand trillions of exoplanets simply because of the size of the universe.
Yeah,
but
I fuck with that, Mira.
Scope of exoplanets,
You get me.
We still see terrifying things, like the exoplanet HD 189733b.
Oh, I think I know about
Planet
this
with
one.
wind speeds incomparably faster than the ones on Earth, and a planet that rains literal glass at high speeds. It doesn't even need to be an exoplanet. Uranus and Neptune rain literal diamonds. The planets in our universe are a big contributor to my astrophobia.
That's the planet. See, I'd go to Uranus. I'd go to Uranus so I can collect the diamonds, dude. If you transport to a planet and transport back without dying, I'd collect as many diamonds as I could, come back to Earth, I'm fucking rich.
From the biggest to the weirdest to the most hostile.
There's
But
also
when it comes
planets
to weird
that
things in our universe.
There's also planets that journey around by themselves with no sun. So they're like aimlessly floating around in space. What are they called again? I don't know what the fuck they're called, but
planets simply cannot compete with the fear that I
My
feel
what?
for black holes. Melanoheliophobia is the fear
okay, a
of
black hole does
holes.
scare the shit out
I
of me a little
definitely
bit.
have this fear. There is no doubt in
They
my
do
mind.
scare me a tad bit.
The thought of falling into a black hole is something that, at least to me, is one of the most horrifying things I can think of. On top of that, the sheer size that some of these black holes can get to is crazy, and plays into my fear of them.
They're pee-pee
This
piss
is Ton 618,
ammonia
the largest
diamonds.
black hole we've ever observed. This monster is 66 billion, yes, billion with a B, times larger than our own sun. Remember all that
It's
talk
just-
at the start of the video?
God, I hate pausing so much, but it's so cool to me. So, like, I love the fact, because if I'm not mistaken, the universe is ever expanding. It's still expanding and expanding, but the black hole gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I wonder if there's ever, like, an end. You know what I mean? Like, if there's ever going to be an end. Because if I'm not mistaken, the black hole is getting bigger, right? Like, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, but so is the universe. The universe is also getting bigger. I feel like eventually, like, maybe something comes to an end. Like, eventually it's just all gonna be gone. It just gets sucked in and implodes on itself. You know what I mean? You know what? That'd be dope ending. I wish I was there for that. That'd be a dope ending. Dude, this graphic makes it look like we're gonna get gobbled up by the goddamn sun. What the fuck? We're so close. This little picture here makes it look fucking scary, dude. We're that close. God damn. I like how these big ones, the ones in the back, they're so far compared to what we're actually closer. I learned I thought we were closer to Mars than we were to Venus, but we're actually closer to Venus.
Nathan Troy Adams.
Watch Young
What's Young
Sheldon.
Sheldon?
Sure, I'll watch Young Sheldon. I'll put that on my list of shows to watch. Alien wieners might look wild if we... The sun will actually probably destroy Earth when it turns into a red giant. No, yeah. I think before anything will happen, we'll probably die to the sun, you know, engulfing us, turning into a red giant. That'll probably happen first. Sounding rods and alien wieners, that's fucking evil. Black holes can reach carrying capacity proportional to the mass of the singularity, though it'll take trillions of years. Yeah, we're never going to be alive for any of this. No, that's the horror movie wreck. Yeah, I said I'll put it on my list. I'll put it on my list. It's going to go on the list. I'll watch that one for my horror movie.
About how big the solar system is. Even beyond Neptune, the Oort cloud of asteroids
Alien sounding
still
rods must look like
stretches
death
much
traps.
farther than the planets. So
Singularity.
it's surprising to find out that 11 solar systems can fit side by side inside of Ton 618. I don't care if you don't have astrophobia or megalophobia, but that is still a terrifying thought. But the appearances
Oh yeah,
of
black holes are
holes
scary as shit.
especially
I'll
really
admit
gets
that.
me. The way they're just a menacing point of darkness, being massive enough to consume solar systems if they really wanted to. All of this combined makes
They say right that if you're in a black hole, it's like spaghettification or whatever it's called, where you get stretched out. How do we know that's like true? Do we like know if that's true, or is it just based off of like just like theorizing what would happen if you were into a black hole because of like gravity or whatever, you know, physics? But like if we ever got into like a black hole and that's what happened, like the spaghettification, dude, that would probably hurt. I can't, unless you like die immediately, you know, unless you just die immediately, like it's just on instant, you're just dead, then I guess it's not that big a deal. I have a white hole. Hi, Ryan. It's all gravity. It's simple to understand it's all gravity. That's what I assumed, is it's all gravity, so it's kind of like, kind of just like it's gravity, because a black hole is like sucking it. It's like pulling itself. I can't remember how it works, but I don't know. It'd be like pulling you. It's essentially like pulling you and stretching you. I don't know. A white hole is actually a thing, we think. No, I thought a white hole was actually a thing. But what if the evil rape squid sounded Young Sheldon? Hey, that might actually happen in Young Sheldon. You know, I don't know. I've never watched Young Sheldon.
holes insanely terrifying and intimidating to me. But it isn't only their appearance. Black holes are the scariest object in the universe, mostly because they're just so confusing. We know close to nothing about them.
Yeah, we know nothing.
Not even light, the fastest thing in the universe, can escape their pull. They're so fascinating, yet so horrifying. They have a menacing aura to them, along with how mysterious they are. Another thing that I think
just a theory,
contributes to
then?
the fear of black holes,
I was gonna say, we
and
don't really
the
know
fear of gas giants
what happens
like
when
Jupiter
something
as
goes
well,
in.
is that there isn't a surface, nothing to stand on, just
Right,
a
it's just a
void.
hole, man.
Something that
It's just a
scares me
hole.
even more than that is what happens when you fall into a black hole. If you fell into a regular black hole, you would die almost instantly.
Okay, then
However,
that's great.
If you fell into a supermassive black hole, you wouldn't die at first. You would instead fall into eternal darkness for a few hours and then die. But as
Okay,
this
how do we
due to
know
time
that's true,
dilation-
Brian? I'm gonna be honest. How do we know that's true? Okay, listen. How do we know that's true? We don't know for sure. We got to send somebody in there. Actually, why don't we do this? Why don't we do the good old? Why don't we do this? Let's do this trick. Tie somebody to a rope, right? Tie somebody to a rope and then put them in the black hole. Just do that. Just tie somebody to the rope and then just like put them in the black hole, and then we'll get to know. We'll know if that's what happens or not. Math tells us this. I guess to be fair. To be fair, you're not wrong. Thank you for the 2, Big Aaron. I don't know why it didn't.
You can
sound
never
off.
see anything enter a black hole.
Excuse me?
Imagine you trap your nemesis in a rocket ship and blast him off towards a black hole.
He just enters in.
He
There's just
looks
black.
back at you, shaking his fist at a constant rate. As he zooms in, gravity gets stronger, so you'd expect him to speed up. But that is not what you see. Instead, the rocket ship appears to be slowing down. Not only that, he also appears to be shaking his fist slower and slower. That's because, from your perspective, his time is slowing down. At the very instant when he should cross the event horizon, the point beyond which not even light can escape, he and his rocket ship do not disappear. Instead, they seem to stop, frozen in time. The light from the spaceship gets dimmer and redder until it completely fades from view. You can never see...
Damn. Now you want to do the sound?
Click educational video.
Now you want to do the sound? Brother. Okay. Now? I've entered several black holes. I guess that's fair. If you've been in. Hi, Captain C. Hi.
Okay, so you were a little confused about the whole spaghettification thing that we were talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's how it basically works. So, first and foremost, not every black hole will spaghettify you. A supermassive black hole, like at the center of our galaxy, think of them as like just kind of gulping in food. They don't bite, they just kind of suck in like Kirby. A smaller black hole takes its time eating you basically. So say that you're approaching a black hole, but you're going in feet first. So your feet are closer to the black hole than your head. So the gravity from the black hole is going to pull on your feet first. But not just that, it's going to pull on the bottom of your feet first. It's going to pull on the very atoms at the bottom of your feet first and pull them apart. Like it's going to actually take the atoms that bonds them together and take them apart into the tiniest little piece it can. And then it's going to do that the entire way up until you're completely just a stream of pure atoms. But that's not the most confusing part about the black hole. The confusing part about the black hole is that we aren't exactly sure what happens to the information a black hole consumes. Because you have to remember, atoms are pieces of information. Think of it as like swallowing, knowledge, information kind of thing. It's called the black hole information paradox because essentially, at the rate a black hole consumes mass, it doesn't get big enough comparative to what it's eating. So there's something that the black hole consumes, but it seems to not adopt all the mass it consumes at the same time. So it's losing something or expelling it somewhere else. And that's where the white hole theory comes from. There's a theory that a white hole is connected to a black hole just in a different point in space or maybe in time.
There's like an end, there's a butt?
Yeah.
There's a fucking butt? What if we're the one going in? Yeah, but what if we're the one going in the ass and then the other side is the mouth? What if we're going in the ass?
Well, see, that's the weird thing about a white hole. Nothing can enter it. It's a mathematical impossibility for anything to enter
so
a
a
white
theory
hole.
is that something comes out the other end of so the white hole is pushing things out. It's like black hole sucking in, white hole is pushing out.
Yeah, basically.
I guess that's possible.
But here's the thing. That's just something we think. We've never even seen a white hole, and we're not too
We should
sure
send somebody
how to...
in there.
You know what? There's going to be some crazy asshole who does it for a TikTok one day.
I feel like one day someone is going to be like, bro, I want to volunteer. Like, I feel like someday somebody's going to be like, I volunteer. And
there's always that
I feel
one.
like
There's
we
always that
have
one
to
person.
do it, right? Like, you have to. Just to see.
Well, I mean, if you look at the history of what we've done to learn about space and shit, we've done some pretty horrible shit. So I mean, something like dude into a black hole wouldn't be that bad. I mean, have you ever heard of Laika?
No.
Leica is such a sad story.
We've done evil things just to look through space.
Yeah, well, because remember, like, so like the idea for space flight and exploration has been around since like before World War One. It was just a matter of questions, kind of thing. Like, can humans even survive? Like, the force of a rocket to send them
Oh,
into
so we
space. Can
sent
humans?
people up to see what they could.
Not at first. At first, we sent the first animal.
We sent animals, yeah.
As, yeah, the first animal believed to have been sent into space was a stray dog from Russia named Laika, who the Russians sent into space.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
And it died of extreme stress because it was in fucking
it
space.
would not be able to survive the. Yeah.
Well, no, see, but it survived getting into space.
Oh, well, yeah, but would it survive like coming back?
No. Like she could have. Like it's possible that she could have survived if they designed it to come back, but the capsule was a one-way trip. They designed it to go into space. They had no
Oh.
intention of retrieving it.
Wait, it was a one-way trip? They sent a dog up there knowing full well that thing was gonna die?
Yeah, they wanted because the only thing Leica was testing was could something survive the force on a rocket pushing a large animal into space? Could you survive that? Leica did, but then she died from extreme stress because she was terrified.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I can kind of understand not wanting to risk a human going up there in like a test run, but like I don't know. That's like why not just send like a ship up there to see if it can handle itself without anything in it?
No, that wasn't what we were trying to figure out. We were trying to figure out the effect it would have on the body. We already knew that the machine would be
on
fine.
people and on okay.
Because remember, we're talking about forces exerted on people that had never been done before.
You can't get a proper read with a dog because the dog's not a human.
No, but it was a pretty decent analog, and it was a stray dog that no one would miss.
Damn, that's fucked up. I thought we sent monkeys. Didn't we send a monkey?
Americans did that.
Yeah, Americans
Russians
sent a monkey.
Like it's one of those things where like, was there a better solution? Honestly, probably not. It's really,
I can kind of understand it, yeah, because you don't
It's
want to just
really,
like
really-
aimlessly throw a human up there without knowing the full
because think about this, Marcus. Whoever is going to be like, if you were putting some person in a spaceship for the first time to see what happens when they went to space, whoever that person is, they have to know how to work their spaceship, right?
Yeah.
So they have to be extremely well trained, extremely disciplined. Like that's a valuable person. And if they go up there and immediately die, that's like a waste of a person, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
instead, you get this random dog you found on the street eating scraps, slap it in a capsule, send it up there, and see if it lives past.
Yeah, but why
past the
Cryptic makes
rocket.
a good point. I feel like it would have made sense. Like, what if somebody's on like death row? Just use that person or something.
They probably, ironically enough, I think they deemed it as inhumane to test that kind of thing with a human first.
Wait, what? Is it inhumane to test someone who's already gonna die on death row or something? Over an
because
animal?
because at the same. Oh yeah, no, you're right, Aaron. It was a pressure issue. Like originally, when Leica went up, the Russians reported that she lived for a few days, but she actually died like a few minutes after she got into space.
Oh.
But that's not
Damn.
even the scariest. That's not even the scariest thing from space, from Russian space. Have you ever heard of the lost cosmonaut theory?
No, I have not.
So you got to remember, this is at like the height of the Cold War, and it's a race between Russia and America who can get into space first. Russia got the first man into space, Yuri Gagarin, but it's believed, not confirmed, but believed he wasn't the first one to get to space. It's believed that there were at least two other cosmonauts. One they think burned up on re-entry, so they covered that up, and the other one they think had a malfunction with his capsule and essentially managed to get out of Earth orbit and just drifted off into space.
Oh, so a guy basically got lost out into space in his spacesuit and just probably dead
And
out there.
and if that did happen, he's still out there somewhere.
Yeah, I mean a suit probably floating around, maybe not his body's probably well actually would it decompose in space? I
No,
don't
he'd
think
be
so.
perfectly
He'd be
like a mummy.
preserved. Yeah.
He'd be perfectly preserved.
Yeah. So he's just there's just a dude floating around out there.
But see, it's not proven that that actually happened. There was like speculation in the early 60s because a couple of Italian brothers said they picked up radio transmissions from a Russian cosmonaut reporting their re-entry and that they were feeling like, really hot, their heat shield had failed. And there was a Morse code signal coming from a Russian cosmonaut that drifted off into space. Now, it's not 100% confirmed. People say that the brothers were bullshitting, but given how secretive Russia is and how they still keep a lot of that shit tight on the lid,
Have
it's
have
not
we lost
impossible.
people? Have we ever lost people to space?
No
like
one,
just
well,
launched
no
out?
one's ever died. Oh wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember. Was Columbia technically in space when it broke up? I would have to double check that, but I don't think anyone's technically died in space. Everyone that's died because of the space program has died in Earth atmosphere. Because off the top of my head, there was Apollo 1 when those guys burned to death inside the Apollo capsule when they were testing it. Then there was Challenger, which is just terribly sad because that was so avoidable. And then there was Columbia. And then a bunch of Russian cosmonauts died from various things.
I don't think so. Okay. So no one's
Like,
no one's like just drifted off yet. At least other than what you said could have happened, but isn't confirmed.
No, like as far as I'm aware, no person has actually died while in space itself. They've all died while in Earth atmosphere.
Chris wants to
Though
ask you something with no bit though. He said no bit, so I'm gonna trust you, Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Captain C. So you mentioned those two brothers that mentioned that they heard radio.
Yeah, I think it was like I want to say it was 1960 or so. They reportedly picked up radio transmissions.
They were shit. How do I change my audio input? Anyways, they were proven liars because for one, constant inconsistent stories, even like a week after it happened. They were in multiple interviews telling completely different stories. And for two, the radio equipment for the average person would have not existed at that point. They were two kids and would have not had access to something that the military didn't even have access to at the time.
You know what? That does make sense because it would be kind of weird that two random civilians picked up top secret radio transmissions in Russia. That would be kind of strange. Because if the Americans,
in space, but that one is just like a complete like lie. It's not true whatsoever.
Yeah, no, because when you think about it, if the Americans knew about that, they would have blasted out all over the place.
Yeah, it would have. That's the other thing is it would have been used as not propaganda, but you know what I mean. The propaganda.
Well, yeah, no,
States.
It would have been perfect because it just shows that the Russians were killing their own people just to beat the Americans.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I saw a video on that, and I knew you were going to mention it. Well, literally, like this morning, I watched it, so I thought I'd mention
Okay,
that.
cool. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, so my personal saddest disaster story from space is the Challenger because it was 100% totally. Wait, what's that? Three total deaths in space.
Three total deaths in space.
Okay, Soviet side and then I guess that would be true. Like the thing is that space, the boundary for what we consider space is kind of fuzzy because of how how Earth's atmosphere actually extends. There's a little bit of discussion about when actually space is space, like the
when you enter. Is that where people is that where most of the deaths are at? Is kind of like in that threshold of like
most of the time you're going to die either on launch or on. Most of the time you're going to either die on launch or re-entry. That's when you're probably going to die if you're doing space flight.
Okay.
But the Challenger disaster is the worst, is my personal saddest one because it was a completely avoidable thing. And it was, do you know what caused the Challenger disaster, Marcus, and why it's so fucking frustrating?
I actually don't know about the Challenger. What happened on that one? What was that one?
I'm not even going to tell you. Pause what we're watching, and first watch Cryptid's short. Can you share your screen with me?
Yeah, he's gonna show us. He's gonna show us monkey. He's gonna show us monkey.
To know.
Yeah, unironically, monkeys is what mostly the Americans used.
Yeah, Beppo. I'm sad. I'm afraid something happened.
Beppo, go. Home?
No, Beppo. No, you can't come home anymore.
His name was
You,
Beppo?
Damn it, how the hell do I explain death to a monkey?
Use his words, Jim. Use Beppo's words.
Beppo, no, go home. Beppo, go dark. Beppo equals 0 forever.
Beppo. Scared?
I'd be scared too.
Evil.
Look, Beppo, I don't know if you have a god, maybe
It was
like
the cost of
King
progress.
Kong or something, but if you do, that would be a damn good time to start praying. There's
Okay.
something you need to know.
I'm not going to I'm not going to tell you what the Challenger disaster was. Just type in Challenger footage, Challenger disaster footage, not a video about like describing it, just the footage of it. It was on live TV.
Oh, is that the one? It just like exploded right before it could even.
It exploded
off?
exploded 80 seconds after liftoff.
It like did it like tilt or something and then just like completely implode or something?
No, from the perspective of the people that were watching, it just poof.
Here, let's see. Is it this
Honestly,
thing?
It was a bitter cold but sparkling clear morning at Cape Canaveral.
Yep, this
Here
is
are the
it.
last seconds of the countdown.
3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
All the communications between the shuttle and mission control indicated everything was going fine. There was a sense of relief that the much-delayed flight was finally underway.
Hi, Janky.
65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs.
And it just fucking boom.
Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%. Challenger, go at throttle up. Challenger, go at throttle up.
It happened just over 1 minute into flight.
Here it goes.
Damn.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2900
Goddamn.
feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
Now, do you know why it exploded like that?
Well, Aaron said the manufacturer of the O-rings literally warned them not to take off
go
the night
back.
before.
Yeah, go back to the start of the video. You see the white boosters on the side of the shuttle's orange tank?
Uh-huh.
So it's like a segmented booster. So there's little ribs that are in the booster that are connected with those rubber O-rings. Think like in your plumbing system. The night before the launch, it was below freezing in Florida, where the shuttle was docked to prepare for the launch. So the O-rings shrank. And the manufacturer told NASA, like, if it gets cold, they will shrink. So be very careful. But NASA had delayed this flight several times, and they're getting a lot of pressure from the bigwigs, like, get this shuttle into space. So even though it was below zero the night before, and then they went to the next day, the O-rings had caused a seal break. So when they were launching, the fuel that was in the booster leaked out and contacted the main fuel tank that the shuttle was on, causing the explosion.
So,
The scariest
so wait a
thing-
minute. Literally, if they just didn't go when it was like cold the night before, they would have been fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
The scariest thing is, like, you have to remember how huge a shuttle is. Like, a shuttle is the space shuttle is very, very big.
Yeah, it's huge.
So the cockpit area at the top is actually where the astronauts like spend all their time and live and whatnot. The scariest thing is that this cockpit section at the top there was largely intact when Challenger exploded. So and based on the remains that was found, the astronauts activated their personal life support after the explosion. So they were probably alive up until the shuttle crashed back into the planet.
So wait, they all died, right? Did they?
Oh yeah, they all died. But no, I'm telling you that because when the shuttle exploded, it didn't kill them.
Oh, okay. So they still had a chance.
No, they didn't have a chance.
Oh.
There was no chance. This
Oh.
like the top of the shuttle, like that the cockpit was ripped off. It was just a hunk of metal falling to the ground. They would have tried to activate their personal life support and hope that they somehow survived, but no. Like, they may have survived the initial explosion, but the impact killed them immediately.
Damn. That fucking sucks. Super mega dead. Yeah, super mega dead.
The saddest thing is, though, there was a teacher on this shuttle that was going to give a class to her students from space.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say cryptid. I was gonna say I imagine they probably cooked from the inside then, right? Like it probably they probably burned, right? Like I'd imagine.
From what I read about it, a few of the bodies had evidence that they were doing something to their suits to try to like keep themselves safe. And there was a report that the pilot had his hand like still in a position where he was trying to control the shuttle, even though it was in pieces.
Oh.
But yeah, but think about that though. That's not even the worst part. The worst part is the space shuttle was like, it was very high, so it took a while for that thing to hit the ground, and they may have been conscious the entire time.
Yeah, you get some time to. You know you're gonna die. You're literally sitting there going like, "Damn, I'm gonna die."
It probably took
a good.
Probably took a good 30 seconds, maybe a minute, for like the cockpit to crash into Earth after it exploded.
God damn.
And they could have been like
roller coaster.
And they could have been awake and alive the whole time. And keep in mind, this was broadcasted live at the time, so the entire country saw this happen in real time.
Yeah. In other words, they literally watched their inevitable death. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
damn, that's fucked up. That's sad. And it was easily avoidable too.
Yeah, it was easily avoidable if they just would have listened to what the manufacturer told them. But they wanted pressure because if NASA doesn't perform, they get their funding cut. So they're getting pressure from Congress.
That's so
like,
dumb, though. That's so dumb. Because if it does fail, it makes us look even worse than just waiting for the right day.
Like, I don't think there was a shuttle launch again for like 4 years after this, because no one had any confidence in it anymore.
Damn.
Probably true, Aaron. They probably did pass out. I really hope they lost consciousness very fast after it happened.
I was gonna say on the way down they probably did. They probably did. Or some at least. Some.
I really hope so, because I can't think of a more terrifying way to die, quite frankly.
Yeah. Fucked up. It's fucked up.
I'm gonna stay and hang out with you for a bit.
But no, I love space. I'm not afraid of space. I like all this. This stuff is awesome.
I don't know. It's hard to explain why I personally am scared of space. I think it's just the idea of I think it's more the vastness of it, and how the large part that's a lot of it is just empty.
I guess that's true. Let me put it this way. I'd rather get launched into space and just be like floating out there and then die that way than to be like down in the ocean somewhere and die that way.
I agree with you on that. I would rather be launched into space with no way back than spend an hour at the bottom of the ocean. Like, fucking no.
Yeah. Bottom of the ocean would scare the shit out of me. Or like, I remember watching this one's kind of unrelated, but it was like, it's these people who do like work, very dangerous work in the ocean or whatever. I think you might know about it, but it's got this crew or whatever, something about like opening like a door, and if you open it wrong, like the pressure like crushes you complete, like the pressure just crushes everybody.
Oh yeah,
inside.
no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there's another one that I learned about a couple of years back where they got sucked into a tube when they were doing something too. And that sounded pretty terrifying.
I forgot what the job is called, but yeah, one of the people, the guy who opened the door got sucked right into like the small crack doorway and was like basically just completely in. When they found the bodies, they were there was barely anything left of them.
Think of trying to shove a giant roast through a straw.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened to him. Like, there was nothing left that could be considered person. It was just stew.
But if it doesn't fail, think of the investment in money. I mean, true, but like, I feel like you can hold off until you know you're 100% like this is going to work. You know what I mean? Then you can get that investment in money. Even if it's going to be a little bit less, it's better than I feel like it's better than the odds of like,
hey, Marcus,
people not wanting to support you because it blew up.
Yeah, here's a good example of how brave people, especially in the Apollo program, had to be. Can you pull up a picture of the Saturn V rocket for me really quick?
A what?
Pull up a picture of the Saturn V rocket.
Saturn V?
Yeah.
Saturn V rocket. These things?
All right.
straight
click-
this little needle thing.
Yeah, click on the third one. The third one. Now you see right at the very top that little gray thing.
Yeah.
That is the actual spacecraft that the astronauts are in. Everything else is just fuel
little
to
gray
get
bit?
that little gray bit at the top. That is the actual spaceship. Everything else is just fuel to get it into space.
Oh, okay.
There's a million gallons of rocket fuel in this thing.
How do you like? What? You're not just in the. You're not in that forever, right? There's like a station they go to, right? You can't just. How many people are in that?
Oh no, this was for the Apollo mission, Marcus. There was no space station.
Oh shit! So they were just those three dudes were just crammed in there. I forgot their names. Fuck.
Yeah, no, the three dudes, they shared that space for, I think their Apollo missions were a week. No, I think like 10 days. It took 4 days to get to the moon. Then they stayed for I think 2, then came back.
Armstrong.
But no, they need
Buzz Aldridge and
and the third guy that no one remembers because he didn't actually walk on the moon. He just stayed. He had to stay in the spacecraft.
Rip that guy, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of a raw deal.
Got fucked over.
But yeah, no, it took 1 million gallons of rocket fuel to get that tiny gray capsule to the moon.
Did they have gay sex? Possibly. You never know. You're up there for a while, you know.
Explain to me how you have sex with no gravity. What are you pushing? What are you pushing against?
Yeah, actually true. How do you push? He's just like trying, but it's just like it doesn't work. He can't like he's trying to like push, he can't.
Yeah, no, that's true, Cryptid. They pretty much said like, here's 1 million gallons of fuel. We're gonna launch it, and hopefully it won't blow up.
I thought that third guy was like, am I wrong? I thought he was a black dude.
There weren't any black Apollo astronauts.
There weren't? Has a black person never gone to space?
Yes.
There has been one?
There have been lots.
What about Mexican?
Probably not.
Michael Collins, that's his name. How do you jack it in space? I don't know.
I think you would need like to have a sock ready because otherwise it's gonna float everywhere.
Yeah, you'd have to like find a little thing to like put it in between or something, and maybe you can like find a way to like pull back and forth. Not on the moon. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. That's what I meant to say. Have there ever been any black astronauts on the moon? I don't think that's ever happened.
Never been any women on the moon either.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Let's go.
Yeah, Apollo 13, they should have all died. There's no reason Apollo 13 they should have made it back. It's a miracle that they
Destroy
did.
Adam.
That's crazy.
Apollo 13 is probably the greatest example of shit's hit the fan, we need a solution.
H4D4
And they got it, and they got it done, which is just amazing. Have you ever seen the Apollo 13 movie?
I've never watched the Apollo 13 movie. I know about Apollo 13. I've just never seen the movie.
The movie is actually amazing. I really recommend watching it. It's such a good movie.
The moon is the white man's territory. Yeah, for the white boys.
We're probably going back to the moon fairly shortly, as in like a couple
Suppose how
years.
you're reinventing the condom.
Well, I mean, think about it. Well, do y'all remember last year that story about those astronauts who were stuck in space for like an extra 8 months or some shit?
There was astronauts stuck in space for 8 months. Time goes by fast in space, right?
Time goes fast when you get close to the speed of light. They were not close to the speed of light.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just in general. Like, it'll be like a day and it was like a month went by or something. And
No, you're thinking relativity. They don't experience that in the space station.
Okay.
But no, I can't remember exactly why they were stuck. I think it was some political thing that was keeping them from getting.
Sorry.
What did Remy say?
No, it's not. It's not what Remy said. This is what Remy did. He jinxed it. He fucking jinxed it.
Oh, he fucked up your football?
Yeah, he did.
Uh-oh.
Dildo won't work in space. I guess that's true. If I was stuck in the space station, that shit would look like a... Dude, why are you guys freaks, bro? What?
Well, I mean, think about it, Marcus. If you're stuck in this tiny little box in space with like 5 other people for 8 months. I mean, they're still people. They're going to have their urges.
You're gonna have to. Do you think they fuck up there? You think guys turn a little gay up there?
What happens in space stays in space. Well, I mean, think about it this way, Marcus. There's only one confirmed gay person that's ever been to space.
Has he been on the moon?
No, it was lesbian. So that doesn't really count.
Oh, yeah, huge for us, man. We're still on top. We still own the moon.
Apollo 13, Ben, the issue was when they went to stir the oxygen tanks, there was a short in the electrical that caused an explosion in the tank that fucked up their spacecraft. That's what the issue was.
Time slows for the person going light speed in relation to the person going light speed. Everyone else has time sped up. What's your thoughts on Interstellar? Do you like that movie?
I love it right up until he actually goes into the black hole.
You don't like that part? You don't like when he goes into the black hole? And he's like, no.
No, that part is where it loses me because I'm with it right up till then. Well, it's because, in fairness, creative freedom and all that, we don't actually know what would happen if you were in a black hole. I'm just pretty sure that isn't it.
No,
and considering how Interstellar was like priding itself on like, yeah, we're a super scientifically accurate movie, right up until the last third.
Yeah, right up until the ending. There's plenty
The
of time
Martian,
left in the game.
The Martian, though, I think is almost a perfect movie for talking about, like, especially Mars itself. I think The Martian is almost a perfect movie for that.
There's plenty of time left on the game. Remy, you don't understand, man. I needed him to get the first touchdown. He threw him the ball on 3rd and goal, and it didn't reach him. It didn't reach him! This is your fault. This is your fault, Remy. It went to Mark Andrews. That's what they're doing. It went to the other tight end, Remy. You did this. You fucking did this. Whatever, dude. All right.
You know what's really confusing about space is the whole dark matter, dark energy problem. That shit it's not confusing, it's frustrating because we understand that there should be
Oh no, mine's
stuff,
anytime, Remy. Don't worry.
but there isn't, and it's really annoying.
Dark matter and dark energy. Wait, what? Sorry, explain that again.
Do you know what dark matter and dark energy are?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, dark matter is basically what we're calling a matter that we believe exists that we haven't been able to identify yet. But the math tells us it should be there. So what happened was about 100 years ago, very smart dude was doing some maths on a galaxy. He was calculating, like, based on the amount of stuff I can see, there's approximately this much gravity being exerted in this galaxy. However, this gravity is not enough for the galaxy to maintain its shape. It should fly apart, but it doesn't. So there must be something there we can't see, hence the term dark matter.
Oh, okay.
Even now, but we don't know what dark matter is. We can't interact with it, we can't smell it, we can't touch it, we can't see it.
He was doing quick matha. Yeah, he was doing quick math.
Yeah, when I say that these guys like did some math, I'm talking about like math that you would look at the equation and probably just get queasy. Like
Well,
I'm not
you
going to
don't
pretend I'm not going to pretend I understand how the math actually works. I'm just trusting that the person who did the math with everyone else did it properly. But if you ask me to like explain the equations, I can't do that. I don't know how the equations work.
Would you go up to space captaincy? Would you do it?
In a heartbeat.
If the government was like, we need you up there right now, and you'd be like, yes. What if they sent you to Mars? What if they sent you to Mars? Would you take that job? Would you take that job?
If I had no way back, would I go to Mars? You know
yeah,
what?
no way back. Yeah, no way back. You have to go. It's one-way mission. You have to get life on there, or not life, but just, You get what I'm saying?
You know what? I think I would, just because the benefits to the human species are too much to pass up for the sake of one person's family kind of thing. I mean, the reason why Mars is so important, and the moon too, is because they're basically just a giant testing ground. We need to learn how do we essentially do we habitate another planet? How do we build our structures? How do we go about daily life? How do we start terraforming a planet? It's all preparation for the eventual exploration of space outside of the solar system. Because Earth won't be able to sustain the population at the rate it's growing. Eventually, we'll have to leave in some capacity. People
What
will
are you
have to start
suggesting?
leaving the
Are you
planet.
suggesting we bounce from place to place? Like kind of just like we gotta just like bounce from place
No.
to place?
And essentially, yes, Earth has. We as humans, we have to become an interplanetary species at some point. Otherwise, we're going to choke Earth to death and die as a result.
I mean, if we do terraform Mars, right, someday, would we live on both?
See,
Would we live on
that's
both?
the thing. No, see, that's the thing. We would live on both, but I'm getting to the point. But I'm saying we would get to the point where we understand that at the rate our population increases, there's not enough resources left on Earth to support that population. So we would start leading to mass starvations and mass wars over resources like water and food. But
It would be
if
like
we learn,
Warhammer 40K.
unironically, yes.
It would turn into mass destruction and war.
But
Mars
see, that's
versus
why
Earth.
that's why people are on a huge push that we have to at least try to live on Mars to see if we can even do it, because we don't know how well we can pull that off. But if we can pull it off and start to habitate Mars and make a nice big colony and learn from that, then we can go to the nearby star system that's only a couple of light years away. What's the name of it? It's right beside us. I totally lost the name. It's the closest star to us, and there's what we think is an Earth-like planet around it, but we don't have the means to get there in a reasonable time yet. It'll take 40,000.
It's got a few exoplanets that we've discovered. I think I know what you're talking about, but
Is it Kepler? Kepler Peg?
I think it's Kepler. I think it's like
Kepler
Kepler
Pegasus-
B.
Ke-
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Kepler Pegasi b or something.
Yeah.
Regardless, it seems to be Earth-like and at least has water on it. So it's the best place that we've found out so far. The only problem is it's 4 light years away, which doesn't sound like a lot, but would take hundreds of thousands of years to get there.
Damn. What I think we should do is we should send a stray dog to that to the planet. What do you think, Captain?
Well, I mean, if you send them at least with enough treats, I think he'll be okay.
He only gets treats if he's good.
Well, who's going to let him have treats or not? He's going to be by himself.
Well, he'll have to figure that one out for himself, I guess.
You're silly, Marcus.
I think we're gonna have a war between Earth and Mars. It's gonna be the Martians versus the Earth people. It's gonna be awesome.
I know that's a stupid sci-fi trope, but unironically, that probably would happen at some point.
Think of it this way: if eventually we do get people on Mars, and it works, and we live there, people will be born there, so they actually will be Martians, and then you'll have the regular people on Earth, and then we're gonna be over here oh, those dirty Martians, those disgusting dirty Martians. What if the Martians experience slavery?
I mean, I guess they could. If they're on Mars governing themselves, Earth can't really hold control over them.
Also, wait, hold on. I thought we recently discovered something on Mars recently. Or something that may seem like there was life on it previously or something.
Well, all of the evidence suggests that there probably was some kind, especially because we know that Mars was essentially a miniature Earth way back when. The question is, was it in that form long enough for bacteria to developed. There's no hard proof yet, but there's lots of clues that say probably there was some bacteria that
Oh yeah,
developed
you can
on
get your chat.
Mars.
My bad. Yeah,
But
I
like,
thought recently one of our things found like some like rocks that looked like it had like carvings in it or something, which would suggest that
well,
something
see,
could have been there.
well, see, that's a thing. But we can only examine it so well using a robot on the planet while we're over here. We can't get the rock back here to look at it, face to face, so to speak. We're all looking at it basically through the eyes of a toy on Mars, so they haven't been able to examine it yet. But it's pretty much assumed there was life on Mars. How advanced the life got, as in like how far it evolved, probably not more than bacteria.
Okay. They haven't brought the dirt back to Earth yet, I think. Oh, they just got to bring it back.
Yeah, well, see, that is nowhere near as easy as
No, it's
as
like,
people would
well,
think it is.
that's easy. It's just like driving back home.
Well, yeah, you just go down there, you get a bucket, scoop it up,
and then bring it
off
home.
you go. Yeah, it should be
Seems
simple.
easy enough to me.
Yeah, like it's like all of the solutions that you and I are discussing, they've all thought of and they know that they're decent solutions. It's just the technological means to do it is so complex and expensive that it's just not doable right now, kind of thing. That's why people are unironically more invested in Elon Musk doing it, because a private company can just use whatever money they want, whereas like NASA needs federal government funding to operate.
I don't care if we find
That's
dork ass bacteria. It needs to be lizard or bigger for me to care. True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Hail to the king. Dude,
King
what
Marcus.
sucks to me is that we're not going to be alive for when any of that happens.
Well, you and I won't be, but there's no reason to think the human species wouldn't
No,
be.
yeah, the human species will probably be the one to do it, but I just mean like, it's not like we're going to be there to see it, you know?
What's cool though is that you and I are the generation that will probably see a person on Mars.
That's true. Okay, yeah, you're not wrong. I do think in our lifetime
Like
we will
that,
see a
that
person
that
get
will
sent to
be
Mars.
Yeah, that's going to be like our moon landing moment. You and I will probably see that live on TV one day, like the first person taking the first step on Mars, which would be like such an achievement for humanity. Like it can't be overstated. Because it's not just the moon. We're putting a person on another planet.
I guess you are
emphasize how
kinda
huge
right.
that is.
You are kind of right.
Like,
We will
that's
probably
huge.
experience that, which would be pretty cool.
And Smoker, I am 33.
Yeah, maybe we should just we got to do like the Futurama thing. We got to like put our heads in like jars so we can like live forever, so we can experience everything. That'd be awesome.
I mean, if there was decent TV, I wouldn't complain. You want to go back to watching the video?
Yeah, I can go back to watching it. I do got to get off pretty soon though, so I might, when I get back on tonight, we'll finish up this one, and then
I paid for 2.
Yeah, we'll finish up this one that you gave me, and then Aaron, I'll watch yours as well. Don't worry, you sent me something.
Time gets so warped when you're in a black hole. The entire life cycle of the universe goes by while you fall. This happens for several complicated reasons that would be way too long to talk about here, but just that concept. Everyone you love, humanity, nay, reality itself, would be gone in a matter of hours. You would travel to the end of the universe and never come back. Knowing all of this, it baffles me how more people aren't scared of space. It's not just the celestial bodies in the universe either. It's the universe itself. The size of it is mind-boggling, and the formations of celestial bodies that can come from it is even more so. Seeing things like galaxies, these gigantic buildups of billions of stars, with the Milky Way alone having 100 billion stars, they are so huge that it takes light between 100 to 300,000 years to get from one side to the other on an average galaxy. But even average-sized galaxies are behemoths in space, containing tens of billions of stars.
We in debt.
Clearly, galaxies are huge, and that's what you would think. But of course, like most things being compared to the size of the universe, galaxies are nothing. Look at this image. Aside from these two single stars, every speck, smear, and tiny bit of light that you can see in this image is an individual galaxy. Every single piece of light that you see,
To be honest, when I see these, I thought they were all stars.
in this image, from the largest to the smallest, is an individual world harboring billions of stars and near trillions of planets, with all types
That picture's
of weird
called the
properties
Hubble Deep
and
Field
possibly
picture.
even life. However,
Where,
they're
is this
just
like
so
a dead
far
ass
away from
picture, or
us
is this
that
just like?
we would never know.
Yeah, this is an actual picture
we
that
would never
Hubble
know
took.
if there were life
Oh.
on any of these planets, or what strange properties they have. We can't look at all of these planets. We can't see all of their stars, or be amazed at each individual black hole at their centers. The farthest man-made thing, the farthest
black
signal that
hole.
we as a species exist, Voyager 1, hasn't even left our solar system yet, and won't do so for between 14 to 28,000 years. NASA has a really cool section of their website dedicated to seeing exactly where Voyager 1 is right now and exactly how fast it's moving. It's a neat little webpage, and it lets you know how truly small we are in the face of even our own solar system. And to think, our solar system only makes up an extremely small fraction of our galaxy. Just knowing that, knowing the true scale of galaxies, and then viewing an image like this one, really puts new emphasis on our place in the universe. But of course, this isn't the limit. Our galaxy exists in what's called the local group, with the Andromeda Galaxy and many other dwarf galaxies. This local group is 10 million light years across. However, compared to other formations, galaxy groups are nothing. Let's look
We're
back-
in that one. We're in the Milky Way, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Milky Way,
we are
and
in
then the next door one is Andromeda.
Andromeda.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the one that's going to collide with us.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's heading right for us.
Oh, there's another one next to it. Triangulum
Yep,
Galaxy.
Triangulum.
Is that one gonna merge or no? Is he chilling?
Nah, he's kind of doing his own thing.
Oh, okay. I guess he's
are
chilling.
nothing. Let's look back at the galaxy image. The galaxy image and images like it only make up a small percentage of formations known as galaxy superclusters. We are currently inside of the Virgo supercluster, a gargantuan
showing
formation
whole
of
live.
galaxies that is 110 million light years across. Look at this image for a second. Every single dot in this image of the Virgo supercluster is an individual galaxy. If we choose to zoom out further, we would see the Laniakea supercluster. The Virgo supercluster is only a small, tiny fraction of what makes up the Laniakea supercluster. Just like entire galaxies in the Virgo supercluster, the Virgo supercluster is a mere smear inside of the gargantuan Laniakea supercluster. But of course, we're still not done. The Laniakea supercluster is yet another
Okay, galactic cannibalism is the process where a larger galaxy's gravity pulls in and absorbs a smaller one through a collision and merger. This is the common phenomenon in the universe where the smaller galaxy stars, gas, and dark matter are consumed by the larger galaxy, which grows as a result. Examples including our own Milky Way absorbing the Sagittarius dwarf spheroidal galaxy. Oh, when did this happen? The fuck?
A few billion years ago.
God damn. How do we know that?
We can track the movements of certain star clusters in the galaxy, and based on how they move in the galaxy now, we can determine that they weren't originally in the galaxy.
That's fucking dope as shit. Dude, Virgos are winning, dude. Look at that. We're in the middle. Epic Spaceman has some great videos for showing scale. Oh my belly. Stars are gay. Nate, fuck you. This is why you're driving a goddamn truck on like busy ass roads and slamming into trees or whatever that you did that one day. Fuck you.
Important piece of the titanic puzzle that is the universe. Big thing after big thing turns small when comparing it to the scale of the thing above it. The observable universe itself contains 10 million superclusters just like Laniakea, with hundreds of thousands of galaxies in each one. Now I ask you once again to look at this image. These are all galaxies, vast galaxies, expanses we can never escape, and places we can never reach, and yet are reduced to cosmic jokes when looking at the observable universe. And that's just the observable universe. We don't know the size of the actual universe, but for all we know, it could be infinite. This fear of just how large the universe is
I
falls
believe in
more
big
into
round bellies,
astromegalophobia
Nate.
than it does astrophobia. But astrophobia still
he is a
plays a
trucker.
large role in my fear of the expansiveness of the universe. It's huge, sure, but we have no clue what could be hiding inside of it, and because of that, it triggers my astrophobia significantly. And despite the fact that we can only see a small amount of what there is to see, we have found so many weird things in the tiny fraction of the observable universe we can see. Weird exoplanets, black holes, galaxies, and yet, if we are to believe that the universe is much bigger than just the part we can observe, then what could be out there? What could be lurking in the places that we can't see? This thought alone is one that's terrifying and brings a lot of questions. What we know is out there is
I
already
believe in the
scary
United
enough,
States highway
but
system.
not knowing what is truly out there is, to me, even
Don't.
scarier. Which leads us to a question. If we've been able to map so much of the universe and detect stars and astronomical events from billions of light years away, then how come we haven't found anyone else? Why haven't we seen any other
You can't
life
see what's on a
forms,
planet, bruh.
despite the fact that any intelligent life that could exist has had much more time to prosper than we did?
Yeah, isn't that
After
cool?
all,
Look at that.
The universe is 13.8 billion years old, and there are
The sad reality to this question is, I'm gonna be honest, is that I don't think we're ever gonna be able to find the technology or be able to create what we need to create to be able to
Personally,
reach something super far out, like so far out that it's like almost barely, like it'd take years to reach.
Personally, I think that they would find us before we found them.
I just don't think anybody else can. I don't think it's gonna happen. We're too far apart. If we were close, I think there'd be a chance.
Well, see, I think you're thinking too linear kind of thing, because the way we are interpreting how we would travel may not be how another species does it. And even then,
True.
there's like lots of different theories that it may not even be like an organic species that discovers us, that confirms alien life exists. It may be like a probe that an alien race sent out thousands of years ago to explore space.
Maybe. But
Like,
the way I see it is like
that Oumuamua asteroid from a few years ago, that may have been an alien probe, quite frankly. There's still debate on that.
well, what was about it that made it that?
It didn't behave how a comet should behave.
Why was it being all funky?
It was being all funky. It was shaped very weirdly, like a long cigar. It accelerated out of the solar system, but there was no evidence as to what was causing its acceleration when there should have been clear evidence. And the way it entered the solar system, it was at rest. So the solar system kind of moved into it rather than it moving into us.
Huh. Remy, you fucking cursed me, by the way, you fuck.
trillions of Earth-like planets within the habitable zones of their stars. So, where are all the aliens? This realization and the question it asks.
Well,
is
the other thing to this like realization is not every planet that looks habitable can have life on it. Some of them like may look habitable but actually can't sustain life. Like
Yeah, but Marcus, it's important to remember that a lot of planets don't sustain life as we know life. It doesn't mean they can't sustain some form of life we aren't aware of.
It could have like what plants and stuff, and that is technically life, but I guess more.
But I know
so,
what you're talking about. You're talking about
I
like
mean
advanced...
like let's say we see like another human species or just something similar to us.
Yeah, you're talking about advanced alien life.
I feel like
That's
we're a very I do feel like we're a very special like you got to have everything go right for us for this to happen. You know what I mean?
Which is true. Like we as humans existing, a lot of stuff had to be exactly perfect for us to be the result. But it doesn't mean that we're the only result that can happen.
Yeah. Because like even if you think about it this way, there could be life on another planet, but what are the odds that it's a species that's intelligent? What if it's just like animals? What if it's just like creatures? What if it's just like similar to just like, you know, like bugs
Could be
and fish
Yeah,
and
that
shit? You
a
know?
lot of people think that any life we're going to find is going to be microbial or like bacteria, but there's no reason to think that's going to actually be the case. We could encounter advanced forms of like space-faring life that just don't meet our definition of life, kind of thing.
I guess that's fair. Yeah. I guess to be fair, the space in itself is already so like out of like our comprehension that, you know, there could be a lot more that we don't understand out there.
Yeah, the biggest like you said before, the biggest issue to all of that is just going to be it's just distance. Everything is so far apart that meaningfully interacting with another species just may not be possible.
There's no reason to believe that there is the case either. I wholeheartedly disagree. There are life forms out there. Denying that is silly. Like, there are millions and millions of galaxies with planets that probably have the capability of holding life. There is probably life out there somewhere, whether it's like humans or whether it's just animals or whatever it is, right? The intelligence aspect is one that I would say you don't know. We have no fucking clue if there's any sort of
we could be the only intelligent species in our galaxy, but there could be another one in the Andromeda galaxy that we have no knowledge of. Like the thing is, I can't prove it, but no one else can disprove it either. We just simply do not know.
Yeah. But the idea that there is no such thing as other life forms other than just us is silly. There's obviously some out there. There's obviously like something or someone or like there's something out there. Because again, we're in just one galaxy with millions of other galaxies and other planets floating around out there. And especially when we've already discovered planets that look to have they look like they could sustain life and stuff. It's like, if we're noticing that there's I guess the other point is like what happened to us could easily happen to some other planet somewhere else. Now, it's rare what happened to us. I do think like what happened to Earth is rare, but that doesn't mean that it's like we're the one sole case and we're just searching for nothing. There's obviously something else out there. We have no understanding. Well, I didn't say just humans. I said like any life form, but we've already discovered planets that look to be habitable. There's already planets that we've discovered that seem that like they could be habitable, which is already an indication that there's obviously some planet out there that probably has life. Like, just because we haven't discovered it yet does not mean that it's like some fairy tale thing. Like, no, there's definitely life out there. It's just we don't know where it is. The universe is massive. We don't even know how we don't even know where the end is. We don't know where the end is. There could be something. Hell, there could be a planet right now that's experiencing what Earth experienced when it became Earth. Like right now, there could be a planet that was like starting off as like a volcanic rock thing, and it's cooling down. And it's becoming like what Earth is. It's probably happening, but it's so far away that we could never see it. We're never going to be able to see it.
Yeah, there could be one other planet out there that has what we would consider like, advanced intelligent life, but it could be on the other side of the universe for all we know.
How do you know it's rare? Well, because it is. I mean, what happened to Earth, it was very, I think, wasn't it very special what happened to Earth because, like, we should have been, like, destroyed by, like, meteors or whatever, but we, like, dodged them or something?
No, not exactly. It's more that Earth had a special set of circumstances surrounding it. It's in
like
this
our
right
rotation
region.
changed or something, and all this other stuff played perfectly into
Rotation,
us.
the fact we have a moon that controls the tides, the fact we have Jupiter that absorbs a lot of huge asteroids, the fact that we're in the Goldilocks zone of the sun, the fact that, Earth just didn't completely incinerate itself for whatever reason. A lot of that stuff could be very rare. It's just that we don't have anything else to compare it to. We have a sample size of 1, and that's us. We don't know how rare we are. We could be extremely rare, or we could be extremely common. It's just a big question mark. There's just no way for us to know right now.
Yeah. Like it is obviously extremely rare, but I don't think it's something that's impossible to happen in another galaxy somewhere else out there. It's definitely possible.
It's incorrect to say that there isn't any other life out there. It's incorrect to say that, but it's also incorrect to say that there is. It's a giant question mark. It's like the question, right? It's the question of space exploration, right?
Yeah.
Like, is there life on other planets?
But I feel
It's the
like saying if there's life on other planets or there is life on other planets, I feel like that's the one like question mark that you can, or like it's kind of like the whole religion debate thing where it's like we don't know for sure. But it's like for life on another planet, I feel like it's one of those unknowns that you could definitely check off and say like I would say with like 100% certainty there's probably something out there. There's probably one planet, at least one other planet. 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
There's probably, because again, the universe is so big and there's so
that's the
many
reason
planets.
why people think that. It's because there's such a huge, it's like a huge giant canvas that's running a million different experiments at once. The odds of it producing life that we recognize more than once, probably whatever number comes right before 0.
Like the way I'm seeing it and saying it is more so like the odds of it only being one planet and that being our planet seems more slim than there being multiple planets. The odds of it the odds of us being the literal just only one seems very silly.
And that's what most people in the community have kind of agreed on, even though we still have no proof that that's the case. It's more like an intuition thing, just based on the sheer size of the universe. Like, surely it's happened more than once.
Yeah.
It may have only happened once. It may have happened trillions of times.
Especially when we look at like our own planets, like when we look at planets like Mars and we come to a conclusion that there could have there may have been a time where this place had some form. Like it looked like Earth almost maybe at one point, you know?
Yeah, like Mars, Venus, they both were probably Earth-like in the past.
And did it have life? Maybe not, but it at least looked similar at one point.
It was on its way.
It tells us. It
may have been on its way to having life. Yeah, it just didn't get there.
It tells us that there are planets that will look like ours, that do look like ours.
And it's really important to remember that we're assessing this based on our understanding of what life is. Like, there could be forms of life out there that we just haven't even came up with yet that exist in a way that we couldn't have predicted. Like, we could be as alien to an alien race in terms of our existence as they would be to us.
Also, isn't there such thing as it's like little is it called amoebas or something? Those little bacterias, isn't some ways of life through they travel through space?
No, you're talking about a tardigrade, a water bear.
Yeah, those things that can't die in any atmosphere. Like, you could send them to Neptune and they'll be fine. They'll be chilling.
That is a working theory, that the chemical compositions that led to life evolving on Earth may not have originated from Earth. It may have originated from Mars.
Yeah, I thought that was a theory that people had, is that an asteroid, an asteroid that hit us, had those bacteria on it.
Yeah, had those compounds or whatever.
Which gave us what we needed to produce life and stuff.
Yeah, it's possible that Earth itself never produced life on its own, that it got the ingredients from a different planet. Obviously, we can't really know for certain. It's just a possibility that can't be disproven or tossed out offhand.
They can die? Oh, okay, they can die.
Yeah, water bears are too complex to survive a long-term thing like that. I'm not talking about a bacteria on an asteroid. I'm talking about the chemical compounds that would eventually lead to DNA sequences of developing. Those could have came from a different planet. There's just no way to figure that out. It's just a possibility that's one of the many that we have.
I would like to continue to do my Maneater series, but I don't really have much time, so I'm going to be honest, probably not. It's a going theory was that the shallow pelagic sea single cell organisms were fused by a bolt of lightning.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you're discussing life on other planets, it's really hard to properly assess it because the circumstances that led to life on our planet are so like 1 in a billion chances. It's hard to really calculate what are the odds of this happening. Like
Yeah.
if you wanted to just go by the odds, it shouldn't have happened in the first place, yet it did. So no matter how low the odds were, it still happened. So we know it's happened once, despite the odds. Has it happened twice?
I mean, I think it's probably happened more than twice. Like I said, we're talking about millions of galaxies with more than millions of planets. Probably, I'd probably say more in the ballpark of trillions of planets. There's probably more than hundreds. I'd argue there's probably hundreds of planets that have some form of life. Maybe not high intelligence, but there's probably planets going through the same exact phase that our solar system went through. There's probably, even before us, you have to think about, like, even before us, there were probably planets that had life on them that are now, that don't look like they have life on them anymore because their star blew up. Like, everything, ended. So now it's gone. And now we look at it and it doesn't look like it had life on it, but it might have had life on it at one point.
It's possible we're the last ones to the party. We could be the last species to have developed in the galaxy, and the rest of them already all died out, or we're the first ones.
Possibly.
That's another possibility. The fact that it took us so long to get to where we are as a like species, we could be the first ones that ever evolved like this, and we could just be here first, or we could be here last. Like, there's so much that we don't know about that kind of stuff. It's just impossible to give a solid answer.
Yeah.
It's super frustrating, but it's super interesting to hypothesize and talk about.
I do know that one of we've thought about going to one of the moons. What is it? Whose moon is it? Someone's.
You're thinking about Europa, one of Jupiter's moons.
Yeah, one of Jupiter's moons looks.
It's a giant ocean.
Yeah,
with a sheet of ice over it.
Yeah, with ice. Yeah, aren't those like the best planets for possible life? The ones with like, it's not that it has like land or like some land water. It's mostly ones that are like pure ice or something, or covered in ice or something, or whatever.
Yeah, basically the way that it's working is that you ever use clay before, or like Play-Doh?
Yeah.
So when you like work it and you're smushing and squishing it around, it eventually gets like a little warm as you're working it. Like if it's cold and stiff, you work it a bit and it gets nice and warm and like malleable.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happening to Europa. Europa is being tugged by Jupiter and then by other moons around it. So it's constantly being tugged and pulled like a ball of clay. So while the surface is frozen, the interior is actually warm enough for liquid water. And based on what probes have analyzed the water that's erupted from Europa, based on the chemical compounds in it, it's possible that there's some type of life maybe in Europa's ocean. What kind of life? No idea. But the ice sheet's like 100 kilometers thick. We'd have to drill down it and get into it.
It's just a bunch of fucking fish in there. Where's hole? Right here. Go. We're talking about big holes right now.
It could be a planet. It literally could be Subnautica.
I mean, I wouldn't know what it would be like to live on a moon though. Like, because we live on a planet with a sun and a moon, but like, what would be?
That's what I mean.
Our moon?
Like life on Europa would look nothing like life on Earth.
Yeah, it would look completely different.
Whether or not we even consider it life may be a question. Like, our definition of life is based on us and Earth.
I think
that may not
I
be
think life,
a universal
in my
definition.
opinion, I think life, in my opinion, is as long as like bacteria can simply just live on the planet without like not being able, like, you know what I mean? Like if bacteria can live on it, then I would think that if bacteria can live on it, eventually that bacteria can evolve and become something.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. But you have to remember, our definition of what life is based on our experiences on Earth. Our definition of life may not meet another planet's definition of life, yet life in some fashion may exist on it. It's just maybe
So
hard
like
to recognize it.
you mean just like life there would be look a lot like much different compared to what it would look like here. Like you mean like
Yeah,
for
like
example like when I say like life could be like a plant on another planet, it could be some fucking breathing rock or some shit that we've never
yeah, like some kind
understood.
of some kind of a animal that's actually made out of silicon instead of carbon.
You can
Like
we can
sil-
like see it breathing or something, or it's capable of
like a like
okay.
yeah, like a rock think like a rock spider or something. Because think about it, whatever is on Europa has evolved in total darkness for all of its life. It has never had sunlight exposed to whatever life is down there. So it evolved. So whatever life is that may be down there, it evolved to survive in complete and total darkness. So whatever form that may take may be nothing that we recognize.
Like living intelligent grass. Yeah. I guess that is fair. That is fair, yeah, because it could be very different for like another place. So like what we gauge as life could be there could be fuck it, there could be life on fucking Venus. Like you never know. There's not, but
It's not conjecture, Nate. It's just hypothesis. It's how scientists decide, and basically it's how they brainstorm about like what are we even expecting to find when we go looking for this stuff. Like what are we expecting to find? We're expecting to find like a fish, or like we're expecting to find like a random like a space monkey. Like what are we expecting to find, and how are we going to recognize it when we see it? Like if you see like you said a breathing rock or living grass, are we going to consider that life, or is that life not? Or is that not life by our stance?
I think if we
Yeah,
found,
I know it's on.
I feel like
I know
if we
it's
found
untest-
like
I know it's untestable, Nate. That's why it's a hypothesis. It's just something that could be. It's something just to think about. You can't go to another planet expecting to find a copy of Earth there and like a goat.
I feel like
That's way
if
too
we do base
narrow-minded.
it, I feel like if we do base it off of like simply just that, then that wouldn't that just, I feel like that would just prove the point that there is already life on other planets. Because like I said, like if we consider plants, if we consider grass or like flowers to be life, right? Because here it is, we technically consider that to be life. We have found exoplanets with land and
Oh, Nate,
what
don't you
looks
dare
to
say
be like
semantics. You know them using hypothesis in the common nomenclature. I'm not saying scientific hypothesis. Don't you definitions with me.
sentience would be lame if you're born with roots. That sounds like hell. Yeah, I don't know. Like if we base it, if we're basing like life as in
Hey, you're
like
trying to be a
plant
little
life,
smart. That's what you're trying to be. I'm just speaking colloquially.
imperfect evidence is not the same as lack of evidence. I was gonna say also like to counter the point of saying there's no evidence. I feel like there's a lot more evidence to suggest there's life in other planets somewhere else than there is to like other things that we talk about. Like I'm not trying to diss on like religion, but as an example, right? We don't have like copious amounts of evidence to religion compared to like life on different planets. Because like I said, as an example I just gave, if we consider plants to be life, there are planets that we have seen, exoplanets, that literally are like almost look very similar to us, where it's like water, land, and obviously on that land, it's not going to be barren land. It looks like it's grass. So if that's the case, we would probably consider that to be life. Does it have like us as life, like humans? Probably, maybe not. I don't know. Animals, maybe not. I don't know. But as long as
That's
it
the
has
thing.
like grass or something that's living on
Marcus.
it.
Marcus. That's the better question. It's not so much is life on other planets, but is sentient life on other planets.
Yeah,
That's
sentient life. Yeah.
That's the better question, because there
that's
could
the
be
better
planets where it's just like a giant field of grass, or like planets with like just giant oceans with nothing in it. Like that's all well and good, but is there anything out there that we would consider to be a sentient life, like
Haven't
our
we
level
not?
of
Haven't
intelligence?
we not seen that? Haven't we seen exoplanets that are like, it's like water and land? Like it literally looks like similar to Earth, where it's
yeah.
like water and land.
Yeah, one of the Kepler planets next to us, I think, is like a parallel to Earth almost in that sense. It's just there's no way, like we can't. Unfortunately, all the information that we get on exoplanets, a lot of it is just very bare bones. Like, is there water? Yes or no. Is there land? Yes or no. Is there air? Yes or no. And that's like the basic that all we can find out. We can make a lot of guesses based on that information, but can we give a guaranteed yes, this planet will have life on it because of these factors? Best we can say is maybe. You got to keep in mind
Yeah,
how far
yeah.
away these planets are, and we're trying to
That's true. That is true. We don't 100% know. I thought one of those Kepler planets was like, oh, it has an ocean. Oh, it has land. Which, if
Yeah,
that's
no,
the
it
case,
does.
I imagine.
No, it does. But at the same time, we can't. At the same time, you can't say that yes, that planet has life because it has water and land on it. It could just have water and land and nothing else.
You haven't even seen bacteria. I guess that's fair.
It's just a huge amount of guesswork, a huge amount of speculation. It's frustrating for scientists because they really want the answer. It's just we're limited by the technology and by the distance. Maybe a couple thousand years we'll have a better answer, but in our lifetime, probably not.
There's evidence on some planets that they may indicate life. We have never affirmed that evidence is correct. I see. Because see, that's what I mean though when we say like that it may indicate life. Like, what do we scale as life? Because like I said, if we were to see like on this Kepler planet, if I were to see grass on it, if I were to see grass on it, or if we were to discover grass, I would assume there's life.
If you looked at that Kepler planet and there's grass on it, question answered. That's life. Because grass lives. Grass grows, it feeds, and it dies. That's life. If there's grass on that planet, question answered. It's life. But best we can tell you right now is that the planet has water and it appears to be a landmass. That's all we know.
Okay. So it could just the landmass could be straight up just fucking dirt.
It could be just barren. It could be barren rock.
Dirt.
It could be just a giant continent of barren rock with nothing on it. And the ocean could be just liquid water with nothing in it.
Damn.
Like, keep in mind, Marcus, we're still not even really too certain how life evolved on our planet, and we're trying to figure out if it could evolve on others. We're trying to figure out a lot of stuff with very little information.
We need to get to work on this.
Oh, brother, trust me. I really wish that there was a bigger push in the space industry for exploration and stuff. It's such a niche thing that I really feel like it's really, I don't know. It makes me sad because we could be a lot farther along in our space development if there was more effort put into it.
Yeah, that would be. I wonder why we don't put. Is it just because we believe it's useless or just too much money? Like, is it just costs a ridiculous amount of money?
Well, I'll put it this way. Last time I looked, it cost $10,000 per pound to put something into space.
Damn, 10,000 per pound. Actually, you know what? That's not. No, yeah. When you think about the weight of a human, that's a lot.
Think of if you're a 100-pound person, it's going to cost $100,000. You're going to cost what, $1 million?
You as
you
as a person. Well, I mean, to get into space, I'd imagine you'd want to have people who are more than just 100. You'd probably want to have
I'm just using a simple number.
Yeah.
But no, because a lot of the reason why people don't, a lot of reason why space exploration is so niche is because, well, people like something tangible for results. Like everything I'm telling you about, with how we explore space with telescopes and all that kind of stuff, it's all really cool and interesting, but does it translate to something productive for you as a person in your day-to-day life? Not really. It's kind of a cool fact, but you could go through your entire life never even knowing that the space telescopes exist and live a normal life kind of thing. So that's why it's a niche thing, because people on some level recognize it's important, but it's more of a curiosity in a lot of people's minds rather than something we should be actively pursuing.
I don't know. I wish we could pursue these things. It would be awesome to know. It'd be an answer that I'd like to know,
Honestly, if life was confirmed on another planet, it would probably send
literally it's just it's like I said, all we would need is just the confirmation that, hey, this planet has grass on it. Okay, cool. That means that yes, there are planets with some form of life on it. That's all that I want to hear. that would tell me that, okay, if we can find a
That's all.
separate planet with grass on it, then that would suggest that, yeah, there's probably other
Like,
planets out there with grass
like
and
it's not even,
people
it's
or
not even grass. And like if we found a living bacterium on a different planet, that answers our question. At least that goes from a sample size of 1 planet with life to 2.
yeah.
And as soon as that happens, it changes everything. Because then we can actually point and say, look, it's happened at least twice.
It's happened
Which, you know,
twice?
no, I'm saying like if we found life on
Oh,
another
if we
planet,
had,
we
if
could
we found, yeah.
we could point to it and say, look, it's happened at least twice. So from that, we can at least determine that if it happened twice, it's probably happened at least a 3rd time, then at least a 4th time, and so on and so forth. It's just
Yeah.
until we get that second sample size, everything I'm talking about is just, it's essentially just a lot of guesswork. It's a lot of maybes and could be's and perhaps, no solid answers, which is annoying as shit.
Yeah. Oh shit, I should finish this
Called
video
the
here.
Fermi paradox, and we don't
Oh,
have
yeah,
an
this
answer
one.
to it. Maybe the universe
The
we
Fermi
live in
paradox is
so
bullshit,
hostile to
though.
life that no other life forms formed except for us. Maybe the universe was never meant to harbor any life. Earth is the only place a human can survive unaided as far as we know. We can't breathe in space, nor can we breathe or live on any of the other planets that we find. This is mostly because we are what's known as a subtype 1 civilization. This way of classifying civilizations into types is called the Kardashev scale, proposed by Nikolai Kardashev in 1964. It's a way of ranking civilizations based on how technologically advanced they are. A Type 1 civilization is capable of controlling the entire energy output
There's
of
about
their own
like
planet.
13.
A Type 2 civilization can control the energy output of their entire planetary system. A Type 3 civilization can control the energy output of an entire galaxy. And Type 4? Multiple galaxies. We are currently at around 0.73 if you were wondering. If any Type 3 or Type 4 civilizations did exist, they would be like gods to us, but we would also most certainly notice them by now. But the reason that we haven't might be due to all of the things I've talked about in this video, from the expanse of space to the hostility of exoplanets. It can be hard for life to exist in such a hostile universe. So it could be the reason why we haven't seen any alien civilizations yet.
The Fermi paradox.
If so,
it was gonna
that's
happen, it would have
terrifying.
already.
A thought that not only is space a scary and mysterious place, but we're the only ones here to experience how scary and mysterious it all is, in my opinion, even worse than if we knew that there were others like us, experiencing the beauty and the horror of the cosmos. But it's even more scary knowing that no civilization can truly develop in a place like this without eventually dying out. Either we are alone in the emptiness of space, or we will never become a spacefaring civilization. Both options don't seem good for us. Despite my personal opinion being equivalent in importance to that
Too
of an
much
IGN
water.
reviewer, I personally think that aliens do exist. If so, the fact that we don't know about any yet really puts the size of space into perspective. The fact that there is so much distance between us and a possible alien civilization truly shows the sheer size of space. Even with technologies that can look billions of years into the past at distant quasars and black holes, we still haven't found any other life. The universe's size holds us hostage and keeps us from finding anyone else. But it hasn't kept us from trying. Currently, on the Voyager 1 spacecraft, there's a golden record. It contains information about humanity, just in case any alien civilization or even future humans ever found it. The record contains 116 images, along with audio and video recordings of humans, music, and animals, and greetings in 55 different languages. The record itself is made of copper with a golden
Wait,
cover
we made this?
and some uranium-238,
Yeah, it's
so that
attached to
smart
Voyager
aliens can analyze the
1?
half-life of the uranium and figure out when the message was sent.
Oh, the
On
one that we
cover-
sent out? It's just
Yeah.
floating around?
Yeah, it's basically just a postcard saying at some point
Hey,
humans
there's
existed.
people here. Hey, there's people
Like at some
here.
at some point we were here.
Damn, that's pretty cool.
There are a couple of things. Instructions
Should
on
we
how
send
to play
out
the record,
more, though? I
along
feel
with
like
a
we should send
pulsar
out more
map
than
that
just
shows
one.
where Earth is, along with the hydrogen hyperfine transition unit definition, which is just a fancy way of trying to find common ground between distances.
Personally, I'd be against
along
that.
with instructions on how to play the video portion of the record.
Is there a
along
reason
with
why?
all of
Is
that,
it just too expensive? You don't want to, like, pointless to send
No,
that
because
much
we
out?
don't know we don't know who's gonna fucking find it.
What, you think someone evil's gonna find it? You think some evil, like, galactic evil freak is gonna be like, we gotta kill these guys?
Hey, well, think about it this way, Marcus. If a spacefaring civilization, like in a spaceship, happened across this tiny ass probe that is pretty primitive and basic, and it has a map that says, "Oh, there's life here." I mean, I know it's kind of maybe a bit fatalistic to think that it'd be a hostile species, but at the same time, you're announcing to you don't even know what that. Hey, there's a few billion people here. Come say hi. And you're like, you don't know.
I guess that's fair. I guess.
I mean, like that's what the dark forest theory is. Imagine you're walking through a forest at night, like a pitch black forest. You can't see anything, and you're just screaming at the top of your lungs, "I'm right here!" But no one else is saying anything. But you're screaming, "I'm right here!" and you're flashing a light. So you're telling everyone where you are, and you have no idea who now knows where you are or what their intentions
It'd be
are.
like an analog horror. It'd be like that one analog horror when they spoke to like that one species, and then the other one was like evil, and then they intercepted it. What was that one called? I forgot what that was called.
Local 58 was that?
It was not Local 58. It was a different one. I can't remember who recommended it, but it was like they showed up in like Alaska, and like they had to like bar off like half of Alaska or something. Fuck.
Oh, but that's no there. But there is discussion, not really discussion, but there is like something that scientists are aware of, that we're announcing our presence to what could be other races, and that could be a bad idea. It could not be. It's not one of those things that you just don't know.
Why?
What?
It was me. I also forgot the name. Yeah, it was Romeo who suggested it. I forgot what it was called. God damn it. Rock carving floating through space next to a computer less powerful than a Game Boy. We sent our best.
True, Bacon.
Recorded voice
True.
message from the then President of the United States, Jimmy Carter. This is what it says. This is a present from a small, distant world. A token of our sounds, our science, our images, our music, our thoughts, and our feelings. We are attempting to survive our time so we may live into yours. We hope someday, having solved the problems we face, to join a community of galactic civilizations. This record represents our hope and our determination, and our goodwill in a vast and awesome universe.
You know, I just realized this. They write this on the capsule, but what if they find it, they don't fucking speak. They don't speak our language, though. You got to understand that. So they probably don't, right? I'd imagine we're not going to find a species that speaks English. So when you guys say...
Most likely see, that's the thing. The Golden Record, it's more like the ultimate of ultimate wild cards, that in some weird way, an alien species would either understand our language already or would be able to translate it. But it's not so much a Golden Record that's the important part. It's the fact that it's the probe itself. The probe itself proves that a species built it and launched it. So that would at least tell whoever found it there was at least one other species out there that was able to do this.
Oh, okay. It's
That's
written in
why
math or some shit. It's written in math. Okay, well, I guess that makes sense. But to be fair, people assume that aliens will speak math. That is true.
Yeah, their form of math may be completely different.
Yeah, it could be completely different. Yeah.
Like we're not talking about two people from different like cultures on Earth communicating. We're talking about two different species trying to talk to each other for the first time.
And we can't, probably. I'd assume we can't. There's no fucking shot we find a species and they're just like, hey, we speak English too.
That's why it's not really the point of the record. That's why the record's not really the point. The point is really the machine. It shows like the complexity to pretty much say like, obviously this thing didn't come about by natural process. Some species built it and launched it.
Yeah.
So that tells us at least one other species
awesome if we came across something like that. What if something floated by our fucking way and we were like, whoa.
Well, that's what I was talking about. That's what I was talking about earlier. That Oumuamua asteroid. A lot of people think that was probably the best candidate to be an alien probe of some kind because of how it behaved. Now, it very well may not be, but the way it behaved makes a lot of scientists want to get a closer look at it.
We should
Because
go
it
get
could have,
why didn't we get a closer look? Why didn't we do that?
because by the time we detected it, it was already leaving the solar system, and we didn't have the right. So we were too late, but we did get some good information on it. There is an idea about developing some type of a spacecraft to chase after it. If that's going to happen, I don't know. But the point is that we know relatively where it was going. So there's a chance we could chase it, but it would take a long time to.
Yeah. Okay.
There is something eerie about the message. Just the concept of shooting something out into space with information about us as a species, having no clue where it ends up. It's kind of like the outer space equivalent of yelling, "Is anyone there?" in a dark forest. It's also a message with an unknown recipient. We have no clue what aliens look like, how they talk, if they're even based on the same molecules that we are. How do you find common ground with a life form far different from your own? Well, we tried our best to find that common ground, but then the scary question arises. What if we are sending the message to no one? What if there's no intelligent life to receive our message, not even in billions of years? Well, if that's the case, then Voyager 1 will travel alone, carrying some of the only evidence that humanity has ever existed into the cosmos, only for nobody to ever find it. The record will exist for billions of years, with absolutely no one to listen to it. Outer space isn't just visually scary and a source of existential fear and dread, it's also an auditory wonder as well. I bet most of you have heard the term, "in space, no one can hear you scream." This claim is telling the truth. Not only are you likely far away from civilization and people, but you quite literally cannot hear someone scream through the vacuum of space. It has no molecules
me.
for sound
That guy
to
was
travel
me
through.
for real.
Despite this, we still know what space sounds like. How? Well, space might not have any
Imagine if
sound
Voyager
waves,
were
but it
manned
does
by
have
some
other
dude
waves.
named Bob.
We can then translate these other waves into sound waves and hear what different
Okay.
things
Oh,
in
yeah.
space
This is,
sound
Marcus,
like.
this is what
And
space
they
sounds
are
like.
equally as terrifying as the visuals of space, if not more. We
There's a
can hear
sound?
what the planets of our solar system sound like.
Yeah, he's gonna
along
play a
with many
sound.
other things, and they are chilling, to say the least. When the Cassini space probe paid a quick visit to Jupiter before it went to Saturn, it stayed just long enough to record a bit of Jupiter's sound, and it got this back from Jupiter.
Sounds
It
like
boomed.
birds, bro. Birds chirping. Sounds like morning. It sounds like morning time and the birds are chirping. That sounded awesome.
Wait, you hear how Saturn sounds? I don't know if he plays that clip, but he might. Saturn sounds
Bob
really
was just
creepy.
floating through space shouting, "Hello!"
It's an uncanny resemblance to what birds sound like here
I feel
on
like
Earth.
if you
But
shouted
something
in space,
seems
nothing could hear
off
you,
about
right?
it.
I don't think your
Almost
voice
like
can
Jupiter's
travel.
pretending to sound like Earth.
No,
Like a
sound can't travel in a
monster
vacuum.
imitating the
Space
cries
has
of a
is too
child to lure
diffuse
its
for
victims.
sound to travel.
It's freaky knowing that no matter how scary the planets of our solar system look to us, they always sound just as scary. Then, there are the sounds of moons. In 2021, a space probe was doing a mission around Jupiter and made a flyby by Ganymede, a moon of Jupiter, and recorded some audio of the moon. Pitched down to a level where humans can hear it, it sounds like this.
What the fuck?
It's chilling. It sounds almost like a distorted recording.
That
but
can't be right.
It isn't. That's just the sound that Ganymede makes.
Well, keep
However,
in mind, like if you were on Cassini, you wouldn't hear that.
Yeah,
That's
you wouldn't
basically
hear that.
that's basically the moon itself making that sound, and they just amplified it so we could hear it.
Dude, the moon is like speaking in tongues. Beep beep, boo boo bop. That's what it
Freaky,
said.
right?
That's what it said. That's what it said to us. When the sun releases a solar flare and you hear it say, "Oh my god, I'm finna bust."
sounds of space go beyond the solar system and even beyond solid astronomical objects. A NASA space telescope named Chandra studied the Perseus galaxy cluster. It detected ripples through space, not much different from ripples in water. Scientists determined that these ripples were produced by a supermassive black hole. Whenever a black hole eats something, it spits some of that thing out. The thing being spit out pushes around nearby gases. Translating
Waddle
these
got a
gas
touchdown.
ripples into
Waddle didn't get a
sounds
touchdown.
shows us what a black hole eating something sounds like. And it sounds like this.
Okay, that's fucked up.
The original frequency of
Black
this
hole
black
consuming
hole audio
something.
was low, very low. To understand how low, let me put it into perspective. The recording of the black hole sound needed to be
Literal
pitched
space
up by
diarrhea.
288 quadrillion times in order to be heard by humans. The sounds of space are both interesting to hear
Unless
and
I'm
interesting
behind.
to gather, and to me, can be just as scary as the visual universe. I think that, despite the scariness of space, astrophobia
Hold on, am
is
I
a bit of an
behind anything?
irrational fear. There really isn't much of a threat
Pause
present here on Earth, and even the cosmic events that can affect Earth are usually never brought up in discussions of astrophobia, which is why I think media that explores astrophobia is important, because it actually gives you a reason to be scared of the universe, as you're actually partaking in it. The world of video games in particular can really trigger astrophobia, but even those don't scare me as much as VR space games. Games like No Man's Sky and Elite Dangerous are PC games at heart, but both have a VR port. I won't talk much about No Man's Sky because it's more of a caricature of space trying to be a fun game rather than a real simulation of what it would be like to explore the cosmos. Elite
should make one
Dangerous,
that's just like
however, is the
space.
exact opposite of this. Especially
That's what
in
this
VR,
one he's talking
it
about right
really
now
provokes
is
a
this,
real, accurate
whatever this one
simulation
is.
of what exploring space would be like. And it is as awe-inspiring as it is terrifying. If you had a spaceship and could access the entire Milky Way galaxy, where would you go? It seems like an uncomplicated question, but not everyone can answer it. There's simply too much to explore and too much to see. Elite Dangerous gives you this experience. It's a space simulator type game that simulates flying a spaceship around the Milky Way. And by the Milky Way, I mean the entire Milky Way. The map is literally the size of a galaxy. It's insane. I love Elite Dangerous in VR. I wish I could say I love just Elite Dangerous, but I really think this game is meant to be experienced in VR. On
I would
flat
just go to
screen,
a-
it's
I would
game
go to a
about
different
grinding for
galaxy, that's what I would
materials,
do.
getting into fights, and selling
What would I
things.
do? I would
A
go
true
to
simulator game. But in
the Andromeda one. I'd go to that one and look at the planets.
You know what's really scary, Marcus, is that remember how I told you about how our galaxy ate a few smaller ones before?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because of the way gravity interacts when that's happening, a lot of like stars and planets would have been tossed out of the galaxy when that was happening and are now just roaming not in a galaxy but between galaxies, like just in the void between galaxies now. There could be there's planets out there with no star, no nothing. There's a
Yeah,
planet
the fucking,
floating out.
Yeah, the ones floating out there.
Yeah, with no home. Not even a galaxy. They're
Poor
between
little
galaxies.
guys, dude. Poor little guys. It's kind of intriguing to me when they don't have a sun, right? What is on the planet at that point? Like, does it just become like a massive rock floating around, or does it like actually have things on it? Like, kind of like how other planets have like gases and stuff. Like, does it still produce stuff, or is it just not producing anything anymore because it's just floating?
Well, objectively speaking, it produced nothing because there's no source of energy for it. Like Earth is powered by the sun, right? That's how life on Earth exists. Is by the sun. So if a planet's floating between galaxies without a sun to orbit, it's just essentially just a giant dead rock. Any life that was on it would have died fairly quickly. The planet would have cooled down to near absolute zero, and now it's just floating through space.
Rogue lonely ice balls. Ice balls.
VR, it's way more than that. It's an awe-inspiring yet terrifying example of the power
our
of
galaxy
VR
getting
and the
eaten
true
by another galaxy on
terrifyingness
a
of
separate
space.
plane?
Every time I exit warp drive,
Yeah, that's
there's
gonna
a
happen.
star in front of me.
Oh, I thought our
or
galaxy
every
was
time
eating
I
a different
explore the rings
galaxy.
of a planet larger than I can
No, our
imagine,
galaxy ate a different
I feel
galaxy, then
truly
Andromeda is going to eat us.
intimidated. If you have
Oh, Andromeda's eating
astrophobia,
us.
then I
Yeah, it's going to
recommend
when it hits
this
us in a
game.
couple billion years.
I don't know.
Oh.
It feels weird recommending a game like this to someone with astrophobia. It seems almost counterintuitive, but for me at least,
Actually,
the
Marcus,
amazement
if you
and the
type
wonder of
pause that,
space
pause this
is
for a
enough to
second.
just-
Type in Andromeda Milky Way collision simulation, because there's actually like a computer graphic that was made
On
based
YouTube?
on like how Yeah, on YouTube. It should be on YouTube. You want to type in Andromeda Milky Way collision, and it'll be like a little graphic that shows how the galaxies will like mingle. It's really cool because it's not just like a straight smash together. They like whip around each other.
Did they just like merge?
Yeah, but it's not as straightforward as you would think.
Want to play
Yeah,
video
here we
games?
go.
I can maybe play video games tonight, bro.
Look how crazy this is when it happens.
Oh, what the hell? Is it gonna go back into each other again?
Yep, they're now bound by gravity. They're going to continue to merge. And keep in mind, all that like dust kind of looking stuff, those are all stars.
Huh. What about the triangular one, dude? Is he just chilling?
He's far enough away that he's not affected. He'll orbit the galaxy that we become, but he won't be absorbed by it.
It got big, and then now it's like white. Not white. It's like yellow now.
It became an eclipse galaxy.
Ah, okay.
No, not eclipse. Elliptical galaxy is the word I want to use. But yeah, no, it's not as straightforward as them just smashing into each other. They like whip around each other and then like spin into each other.
Oh. Okay. That's pretty cool.
Justify being jump scared by every star I visit. And it's only helped by it being in VR. Grindy tasks like mining asteroids turn into wondrous and awe-inspiring experiences. Traveling between planets in a system turns from a momentary boring detour to a pleasured experience that shows you the true scale of space and the fragility of humans inside of spaceships. Really, if you have a VR headset, I can't recommend Elite Dangerous enough. And if you have astrophobia, then the experience is weirdly more profound. In the vast expanse of the cosmos,
True, Remy, true.
we not only find profound objects and unsolved mysteries, but we find ourselves. A reflection of humanity that glistens from each star above. A reflection of our curiosity and our lust for the unknown. Astrophobia, to me at least, is not just a fear of space and celestial bodies, but the fear of the unknown. In the search for meaning in this universe, we've come across many other things that elude us. And we ask many questions. Why are we alone? Why is there something rather than nothing? Why is the universe built this way and not some other way? And maybe we'll never know the answer to these questions. Maybe they're meant to be left unanswered. I said earlier in the video that the fear of space is irrational, but I take that back. I think the fear of space is one of the most rational fears out there. From the visuals to the sounds, the questions, and the concepts of our universe, astrophobia is a representation of what we as humans fear most: the important questions and the unknown. But now more than ever, we are forging a closer relationship with space. With independent companies making spacecrafts and landing on planets and plans to colonize Mars, astrophobia will most likely persist for generations to come. We might be scared of space, but we can't let that fear define our relationship with the universe. We should instead use our fears as a catalyst for exploration, a lens for which we explore the cosmos. And I feel that this image is one that describes our relationship with space well. Taken by the James Webb Space Telescope, it depicts what looks to be a cosmic question mark floating through space. Although it's probably a distant galaxy or something, our relationship with space can be perfectly summed up by it. A never-ending series of questions in an infinite and awesome universe. And I'd like to end this video with a quote from one of my personal heroes, the late Carl Sagan. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. It is our choice whether we approach that something incredible with fear or with the boundless curiosity that defines us as a species. The universe is waiting, and the stars are our guide. The final frontier beckons, and it is up to us to answer the call.
That was dope.
Yeah, space is fucking cool.
That was dope. I wasn't afraid of it. I wasn't scared.
Well, then you're braver than me.
All right, chat. I'll be back on probably later tonight. We'll cover these two, okay? We'll come back and we'll cover these two, okay?
Yeah, you friggin' better, or I want a refund.
No, I'll cover this. Don't worry. Enemy unknown.
Nope.
I'll cover this one. Don't you worry. But I do
Okay.
gotta do something. So
When are you gonna be back?
expect around like, okay, for me it's 6:46. So expect
Okay.
around, I'm Pacific Standard Time, so expect like 10 or 11.
So about 4 hours from now.
Yeah, about 4 hours.
Cool. See you then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye guys. Bye. Bye. Bye.